Hello, everybody. We're live with round 4 of the Mechanics Institute's flagship event, the Tuesday Night Marathon. I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, and with me is International Master Christopher Yu, the recipient of the Falconer Award this year. Falconer Award is given to the top player in the, I think it's California or Northern California?
Northern California.
Under 18 by rating, and Christopher Yu has won it. Is this your first time winning this award?
Yes.
Yeah, some people have predicted that you'll win it for the next few years in a row. We'll see.
Yeah.
A couple of years. How old are you?
13.
13, so you still have...
Till 17.
Yeah, you can win it for a few years.
So the Falcon Award is a monetary award that's equivalent to the player's rating. And when we first started this, the players' ratings were around 2,200. And now what's your rating?
2531.
2531.
So I have to say that actually it dropped just a little bit and somebody's rating went up. So actually that guy's rating is higher than mine. So, but I was higher in
When the
early.
cutoff,
Yeah.
You earned it.
So we're going to mug you for your money.
Yes.
We'll take your check when the cameras stop rolling.
Yes.
But right now, we're just
I
kidding.
know.
We think between the two of us, we can take
this is a replay of round 4 of a Tuesday night marathon. Round 4 was aborted about halfway through. The building had to be evacuated, and some of the games were finished. Those games ended in the games that were finished will end up as extra rated games, and the games that were not finished will be annulled as though they never existed. Unplayed.
Okay.
So those that were winning,
Not so happy.
not so happy. Those that were losing, they're happy. We're glad to have you here today, Christopher. I'm eager to pick your brain as we go through these games. Is there, if you have any questions for Christopher, you can ask them in the chat maybe, and I'll try to remember some of them as we go along here. But so we're looking at the games. I'm going to start off. We're looking at the games in the Tuesday Night Marathon Round 4. And I'll start off with Kyron Griffith, FIDE Master Kyron Griffith versus FIDE Master Jose.
Just hold it.
Hold it kind of up to your.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
Paul,
you can hold it down here if you want.
This is the regular Tuesday night marathon, but isn't this named for a particular person?
Yeah, this is the Max Wilkerson Tuesday Night Marathon.
Max Wilkerson, and former Mechanics Institute chess room director.
That's right. That's right. Their chess room directors former chess room directors are all over the place. There's one over there, Jim Eade, former chess room director. By the way, he's author of Chess for Dummies.
Okay.
Have you ever read that book? I think I should read it. I probably should read it, Chess for Dummies. I think it would be a good book for me to read.
I think I'll run the next edition by Christopher to have him proofread it.
Okay, so yes, the Max Wilkerson. Max Wilkerson was chess room director in right before John Donaldson, in 1998, I guess. John took over
From me.
from you.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. So
I replaced Max.
You replaced Max.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was a really good chess room director, and then there was a really bad one, then there was a really good one again.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
I'm talking Max was a great chess room director, and John was as well.
You're selling yourself short, I'm sure.
Well, somebody has to do it.
Shall we look at some of these games?
Yeah.
All right. This is Griffith versus Stearman, two strong FIDE masters. I think both of them have an IM norm. Although Stearman, I'm not sure if he does it or not, but I know Kyron does. So Karen likes, they both like to play sharp theoretical stuff, so
This
this
is pretty
opening,
theoretical.
Yeah.
opening does not surprise me at all. Any thoughts?
Hey,
You're
this
welcome.
is played in the Fisher days. This is popular.
This is played in these days. This is popular.
Yeah, everybody tries this. Carlson to Kasparov to everybody. All right, so this is, G3 is a little unusual, right?
Yeah,
Bishop
yeah.
D3 is a normal move there,
Yeah.
or taking, yeah. Okay. Do you know anything about the theory here?
Not with G3 very well. I haven't looked at it lately.
F4 might be a well-timed move. I'm
yeah,
not sure.
I can't refute it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to say for me. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So black is probably, both players are pursuing a
Well, that looks logical.
consistent strategy here. Is it possible that black doesn't want to play F5 yet because of weakness on the long diagonal, maybe?
Yeah. But
You might be
maybe
able to
rook takes
take.
F5 with tempo and development. But I think the light square is getting a bit weaker. The G2 bishop, it's active. The G2 bishop,
All right.
you would like to trade.
Okay. So we'll leave this as an open question. Knight E7,
Reasonable.
and white
Get
just
rid of
takes a
that knight.
simple.
Queen takes E7, obviously. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Josiah's
hasn't
having his
moved.
first long think of the game.
On an obvious recapture. But he's obviously thinking deeper than queen takes.
Right.
I
Well,
know,
let's
but
see.
why not play the? It's
Yeah, I
more
know.
logical. Play the move and then think. Like,
Yeah, maybe white will think.
Well, sometimes players
you
need to
can think
psych.
on your time.
Sometimes players need to psych themselves into the fight. Sometimes you play and you don't think you're doing so. You're just like making moves, and then you realize I don't have the fighting spirit that I need, and I need to stop right now and think about what
So you're talking chess psychology.
I'm talking chess psychology. Anyway,
Okay.
finally he does it. Okay.
he was doing that.
Well, if he loses on time with a
Yes.
few seconds
how
remaining.
Is he gonna lose on, he's not gonna lose on time with 1 hour 48 minutes.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay. So that's board one. Well, what do you think of the chances here?
Actually, I don't see what White's plan really is. I think
If knight c2, a5,
ideally
preventing
you would
knight
like
b4.
to trade off G2 bishop with like bishop h3, but I feel like Black should be doing well. He has some lead in development, queen b7, d5. So I think
Yeah.
White should just get castled and do whatever.
What lead in development? I don't see a lead. White is.
No, if he like White wastes his time with bishop h3.
Oh, I see.
I think
I think White should castle. The question is queen side or king side. Queen side I think is very dangerous.
Yes,
I
I would
wouldn't
asking you
suggest
to-
it.
I would say that
Keep your voice low.
white is not been ambitious enough in this opening, and maybe knight takes e7 check is just sort of relinquishing the initiative. Maybe knight c2 here, or so. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
I don't
You-
think knight d2. Knight takes d5. E takes d5.
Yeah,
White,
yeah, I don't
Black
like that,
does
yeah.
something.
I think black is fine then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to board 2. And we have King's Indian here. Let's see.
This looks like something went wrong for Black.
We have Askin, who is a expert, versus international master Elliot Charles Winslow.
A grizzled old veteran.
And we have an old King's Indian here. Very typical position.
Yep.
And now the question is, to my mind, knight g4 looks much more active here.
Yeah.
That does look correct.
I mean, if white's going to take a tempo and play bishop c5,
Well,
the,
he does not want to give away that bishop.
then
Right,
then he
because
shouldn't
of
have
the white
played bishop
squares.
e3.
The white pawns are on white squares, making the white
Sometimes
square
people
bishop
put like
4.
h3 and then bishop e3 to prevent knight g4 and like that. Then black plays knight e8, f5, and here it's just king's Indian gone wrong.
Ooh. They did play f5, f3. Yeah.
Yeah, well, f4 is consistent. Let's see
Yep.
what happens.
Bishop d7, I wonder
Be
if
too
it's
slow.
bishop d7, bishop f6 feels a bit too slow.
What would
Okay.
you
Feels
play?
like I would just play g5, knight f6 or whatever, but you really want that knight on g6 in these types of positions
Correct.
to control h4 and help with the attack. So this is kind of gone wrong for black, and I'm not
Yeah,
liking
knight
it.
a6. I don't like that either.
It's like maybe he wants to trade off that f6 bishop. Oh, it's not that bad, but I don't think it's what
Why
black
does black
wants.
give up on the idea of playing bishop h4
Because
here?
he wants to prevent b4 from white.
Well, I mean, okay.
Right.
So let's try to make it solid here. I'll play bishop h4, and what does white do? I guess maybe he takes.
b4? Well, takes or b4? That's
Well,
the
if
question.
you play b4, I take on f2.
Yeah,
now you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to take with the king.
Yeah. Then I tried to go back to g1 immediately, but maybe more. I'll take on h4 immediately and then play b4.
Right. Okay, so now I could think about playing knight a6, but maybe I could even
Yeah.
trade twice, or take on a1 and then play knight a6. Is that not,
Yeah, that's not so bad.
so bad. I've seen black play like that, and it's worth it
Yeah.
maybe to get rid of the black
I don't
bishop.
think black should be exchanging pieces here, but
Definitely, the black squared bishop should be traded.
yeah,
would
yeah.
think.
But,
So that's a possibility. I mean, I really,
Yeah.
instead of playing knight a6 right away when you're not forced to do it. Okay, so white's thinking. I guess white's hoping to find some way to keep what looks to me like, rook a b1, right?
yeah.
Well,
Problem is bishop h4 looks rook a b1.
Christopher,
Yeah.
could you tell us why that black wants to trade that dark squared bishop?
That king's Indian bishop is not the best looking piece. It's sort of blocked by its e5 pawn.
Right.
So the f2 bishop is useful preparing things like c5. So it makes sense to trade off this bishop.
Right.
I just feel like black's play is just sort of going slowly in this position, and if white can find the right plans, he should be better.
But once those bishops come off, then white's dark squares are looking a little weak to me.
Yeah.
It's possible that the position has some dangers for white. For example, like if he plays king h1, bishop h4, bishop g1,
That's a pretty
maybe.
common plan.
Yeah. Maybe black could really
Hang on to
actually
that
get
bishop.
something going there, play bishop g3 and bring the knight around to h5, something. I don't know, I mean, I'm just
I
thinking,
Yeah,
how is
yeah,
it,
yeah.
what's black going to
I
do,
wouldn't say,
I mean,
I like that idea.
Black has some ideas, but white should be better with correct play.
All right, okay, I like that
I will
evaluation.
go with that.
Let's go to board 3. And this is Ruyan Master versus strong up-and-coming expert, Christian Clements.
He was
Although-
having a very good tournament. Was it last tournament or
Yeah,
this
he needs to have a good result or two to break out of his shell here. But let's see. You were describing this as a kind of a boring opening, and I tend to agree with you, Christopher.
Yeah,
These are difficult
that is a
difficult
nasty
positions
kind
to
of-
play. We get a
For
kind of
both
a
sides.
symmetrical.
There you go. Yeah, I was wondering how he's going to break that pin.
Yeah, he wants so rook d8. I'm not sure if black should be allowing d5 because now d6 is a weakness.
Oh, that's an interesting,
Generally in the Petra-
interesting try.
Yeah. Generally in the Petra, people play d5 and they don't. I'm not used to seeing this.
Yeah.
I think white has the advantage now with pawn on d6.
So
He can trade off this h5, e2 bishop and play a4, knight d2, knight
because
c4.
he wants to play c5, but then
White's
knight
trying to
d5.
unbalance the position.
Yeah.
And I see a nice move for black here, though, maybe knight to b6, which is,
Doesn't look awfully nice to me. Maybe take on c6 just.
and then I take back, and
And I've got the only center pawn.
Maybe not so bad.
it's just
I
it's a thought. I'm trying
yeah,
to deal
yeah.
with this with black. I don't want to play
Right.
c5.
No, you want
So,
to, but you can't.
but knight b6 is maybe a try here.
I would take on c6 and play knight d4.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Then I have to take on e2,
Then
and
queen takes e2.
yeah, and then I have to figure out a way to defend the
Like
c
queen
pawn.
d7.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't looks
It does.
plausible,
I
but
like White's position.
white should be better.
Yeah, White's applying pressure. I agree. I like this
D5,
d5
and
move.
it seems like
It's a good shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. This is Nicholas Wang versus Michael Walter, and this game we got to this Sozin Sicilian. I'm not sure about the current theory on this. In fact, theory is my weak point.
Whoa,
so.
whoa, whoa! That can't be.
No, that is the move. If knight takes c6, queen b6 check.
Yeah, that's the theory.
So I think this is
And then-
actually theoretical.
Oh, okay.
This has been known since, and in fact, that's what happened here. Bishop e3, queen c6, rook d1, bishop b7, and white defends with rook d2. So,
Bishop c5. What I'm most interested in is if black can play queen takes f3 here.
Whoa.
oh yeah, that looks like a good move.
Why not?
So basically, it's gonna go g takes f3, bishop takes e3, rook f2. You don't have to take on f2 immediately.
Right, of course.
Let's say you take king takes f2, knight c5. I think black should be doing well there.
Black has two
But
rooks for the
It's
queen,
Not, it's not
Well, one rook.
and a
over-
weak.
Yeah.
Well, it will be two rooks
Yeah.
for the queen.
Oh, correct.
And it's gonna. There's a weak pawn on e5. I tend to think.
That's a good point. I think
Wow,
that is
f
good
pawn. Thank you.
Queen takes.
F pawn. I hope one day to see you up here in the club, but it almost sounds like you're coming in. But okay, nice to hear from you.
Oh, okay. I originally thought you were talking about the f pawn and
Yeah,
the position.
yeah,
Oh,
High
okay.
F pawn.
I see. Yes.
Okay, so queen f3 is an interesting try.
I like it. Really good eye there, Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, and Michael Walter is not one to miss the tactical shots.
Yes, I agree. From what I've seen.
I'm not 100% sure it's
Me
the
either.
best way to play. You can take on e3 and put queen c5. Feel like black should have
Something.
the advantage.
All right,
But
I like it.
I don't see anything better than queen takes f3.
And going down to board 5, we
Really
haven't seen this
interesting idea.
game. We haven't seen this game start off as a center counter.
I used to play this.
And
I didn't play queen d6 though.
queen d6. What do you know about? Okay, I don't like h3. I do like a6.
Yeah.
I like a6
Yeah, a6
because
is
it
useful.
denies, and it kind of
Right.
works in with black's strategy. But h3,
Basically, he's trying the geometrical reflection. Of
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
and that's a kind of an interesting way of looking at it.
But,
I like
but he's
that.
trying to prevent the pin
I
from
just-
electric.
You're
right?
white.
That has nothing to do with playing. I just.
You're white, but I like your
Yeah, yeah.
eye. I
Yes.
like your eye there, and I like a6 for black, but h3 for white not so much. Maybe because you're white.
No, I
You
mean,
don't wanna play a
it
move
has
like that.
nothing to do with being white. He just doesn't want bishop g4 and black
Right.
to trade off the c8 bishop. But yeah, you really don't. I don't really feel like h3 is most theoretically challenging.
Yeah, Kasparov and Fischer would not have played that move. I guarantee it.
That I
It's hard to
agree
say
with.
because I play games. My opponents play bishop. Okay.
Quite.
My opponents play bishop g4, knight c6, queenside castle, and attack d4.
Right, right,
He wants
right.
to prevent these types of things.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Paranoia, bishop
Strikes
f5,
deep.
and we get one of these kind of positions.
I would say black is like forceful against the Scandinavian,
Why
it's
not?
perfectly
Yeah.
fine for
It's
black.
perfectly fine.
Right.
This is a
The only
perfectly
thing
fine
white can
position.
try here is to go for the two bishops with knight h4, which I
Yeah.
think white should do right now.
That's a pretty common idea if
Right.
you try to get an advantage.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Let's
so.
go
I
on to
think you're
board
right.
6, and this is expert, ooh,
Aye.
what's happened? Okay, we have
Yeah.
a Dutch defense.
Okay.
Black is, finally plays knight f6.
F pawn would like this.
Okay. b6 is very ambitious.
It's very common though.
It's ambitious in this position, and d5 is probably the right way of thinking here.
Sure. Something tells me that d5 is maybe not right, but I don't know.
Something
Okay.
tells me that too.
All right.
But I don't know these positions very well.
Right.
Just the
It
pawn on
seems-
e6 is weak, and I feel like you should just keep it there.
And
I don't
go for
really-
pawn to e4.
I don't
maybe.
have great
Yeah.
plans for white since I don't play these positions.
Right. Okay.
But
Well,
it
there's
struck me the
something.
same way,
There's
though.
something about this.
which
If
means
white,
nothing.
let's see what white tried to do here. I guess it's possible for black to play g6. Well, white might go. Okay. And white is black. Why is he giving him the f pawn? F pawn.
Yeah, chime in.
Yeah, f pawn. We're wondering. Okay, so you like this for black.
Yes. Yes.
So-
D5 was.
The only thing is, can
Not-
white play knight to e6 or something? Let's see if that happens.
So what?
I don't think black should have given up this pawn. He
Yeah.
was seeing some e4
But he wants
stuff.
to give another one.
He pretty
but
much thought that maybe white has to take, but he doesn't.
Now I don't like it.
this
Now-
is horrible.
Yes.
This is just frankly dreadful.
First of all, you made big mistake by giving this f pawn. Secondly, big mistake with e4. Now it's
Okay,
It does
all
look
right.
like
This
those
has gone.
were-
This has gone far
that was
south
not-
for black.
That was
That's-
not thought through.
Knight g4 is lashing out here,
But
it
at
cannot
what? Oh,
succeed.
come
And what
on.
this is,
yeah.
this looks. White's just gone 2 pawns ahead, and black is close to resigning here.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is-
this is not.
all right, let's go to board
Well, that is a way to
7.
take a perfectly
This
playable
is
game and make a
Larry
mess of it.
Snyder, expert, versus Michael Lum, and he is A player. So we have A player versus expert. And let's see, we have a Grunfeld in reverse. Is that what you call this? And now it's a Tarrasch defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for you, Paul. Opening.
I'm
theory.
getting my little transpositions going here.
Yeah.
This is all, so bishop e3, that's an old move.
questionable.
Do you know this opening at all?
No, because I don't play. I don't
Right.
play these variations.
I don't know this hardly at all either, but bishop g5 is the book move, is the normal move.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure
Well,
bishop
you know it
e3
better
is.
than me.
Well,
Yeah.
doesn't it invite?
I'm sure bishop
knight
e3 has
g4?
also been played. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of theory now. I mean, these positions often black can play in all kinds
Why
of
wouldn't
ways.
you play knight g4 though?
Well, I guess if knight g4 will go bishop f4 probably, or something like that. I mean,
okay, you're right. That's
my
fine.
guess is that
The
might
knight's
even
not
be
doing
theory.
any-
Or,
yeah, knight's not doing anything.
yeah,
in
my
g4,
guess
yeah.
is. So this is one way for black to try to play this, and now you can just
Now it's
take on
interesting.
b3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's
I like
go.
the queenside majority. Just taking on b3.
I guess you can just take on b3. It would be a simple way to deal with this. All right, let's go to, this is strong expert
Wait.
Alexander
We need to
Ivanov.
go back to the.
Wait, am I not seeing? Wait, white is just upper for nothing?
Is that possible?
Yeah,
It is possible.
I count pawns and then I count pieces.
Okay.
Wait, what?
All right, let's go to the opening. Let's
Yeah.
go through the opening
Wait,
here.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. I just
Well-
saw something very strange.
You can believe it. You've seen it here on the
Rook for
Tuesday night marathon.
That can happen at the
This is
Tuesday
the reload
night
pattern.
Yeah, this is what
This is
happens.
normal,
And he
though.
plays on and
You
on
can
and
be upper
on.
rook for nothing.
Yeah. Who knows? You might even win the game.
No, it's about one of the moves black plays.
So
is
let's
this-
find
is
out
this a
which. Let's
DJT
find out.
error? Let's see.
Let's find out. Okay, so what do you know about this?
At this opening, well, actually, as white, I tend to avoid this gambit. D4 is certainly interesting, but as white, I just try to avoid this gambit.
Right. Okay. So
It
we have a
sounds like
but white does not
2500
take the
player.
gambit. White does not take the Marshall gambit. He plays pawn to D4.
Yeah.
So
Marshall
what's
Gambit
the
declined?
a Marshall gambit decline can't be much.
Well, it can't.
But I don't know the theory.
You don't want to go into the,
Well, you know,
which is very theoretical.
Okay, so this looks probably correct for black, or
Yeah.
one way to play it. And now this,
Oh.
and this is just a very like direct positional try.
What is wrong with White's position, though?
I guess nothing. But the question is it enough to play for a win? Queen B8.
Oh, I
Let's
don't
see.
even like
Let's
that.
find out where he lost his rook. Oh, okay. Here's your DGT error right here. All right. So clearly we have a DGT error on board. Who do we tell the DGT in the DGT world
Do
here?
you know who these players are? Go out and look at their game and see if this is really
Yeah,
the
it looks
position.
like after Queen B8,
Rook
black
must
on the
take.
17th move needed to play one of the rooks takes on B8.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go ahead. And I guess we'll take a break for for a few minutes.
go out this
Actually, you have to go out that door. But well,
He's gonna go check the position.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna go check the. Okay, you
We
want to?
don't believe it.
Yeah.
How's it going out there?
What board?
Okay,
What board is that right there?
we'll take a break in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Board. This is board 8.
8. So is it for real? Like he's down?
We're not sure because it doesn't look
Oh,
real.
you can be his mic. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well,
So how's it going out there, Abel?
actually, it's going really well. Everybody's kind of accepted that this is the new round four.
The best we could do.
This is the best we can do with
Right.
what we have. Is it good?
Looks like he put your F takes B.
Okay. Well, we'll get that
Okay.
straightened out at
yeah.
some point.
All right.
Jump in there. So
So it's not
just
as clear cut.
So it was a big night tonight. We gave props to Christopher Yu here, winning the 2019 Falconer Award. So we had a little ceremony. We'll probably post that up, later on. But so the Falconer Award's given to the Northern California player, the top-rated player under 18, which this year happens to
guy
be
right here.
13-year-old Christopher Yu, international master Christopher Yu. So he wins an award equal to his rating. So he took a cool 2,531.
I'll flip you for it.
And Christopher was reminding us of some of his victories recently. One over Lee. How do you pronounce his name?
Wang Liam.
Yeah, and also Conrad Holt.
Actually, that was a phenomenal match. It was at the Bay Area International, I believe.
Right.
And yeah, I was following that game. Actually, a lot of us here were.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was fun watching. Conrad Holt and
So do you have any other tournaments coming up the pipeline?
Yeah. Actually, one in 9 days.
In 9 days.
oh wow, where's that?
In Texas.
Oh yeah.
Who's playing in that?
I think Prasanna is Prasanna Rao playing.
Who?
Prasanna Rayo?
Prasanna
Is he
Rao.
playing?
I don't think so.
No.
Wait, I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, he's a really talented player. I like him.
Persona?
Yeah, he's
Prasanna
an international
Rao.
master. I think he's got like 4 GMs.
That person? He hasn't signed up yet.
Right. Yeah, but they got you to contend with.
And Christopher, now everybody's going to be tracking your games. So
You don't want to let out any secrets here.
Yeah.
The whole world is watching.
So your dad was saying that like lately you've really been, focusing on the studies, spending more time.
Yeah.
What is it about now that you're really digging your heels and really kind
Making
of
a
spending
push.
more time making a push to get those norms?
I have a system where I get points or like just sort of reward, but not like real reward, just like points, numbers for doing harder work. So
And you're just going for those points.
And
Giving
it's like
yourself some motivation.
it's your own reward system, right?
I made it up.
You
Kind of.
made it
that's
up.
cool.
Studying chess is an interesting thing to do.
The
Like
sort
when you
of-
try to do it
the sort-
systematically.
And you have
the
to
sort of
motivate
chess
yourself.
I do is the kind of stuff I really don't like doing.
Like as with many things, the stuff we need to do is
Yes.
not the most fun.
Right, but the rewards are great.
But the
yeah,
preparation
yeah.
Yeah.
pays off.
And the preparation will pay off. And
So we have
yeah.
the board back. It looks like
Yeah.
that looks more
Corrected itself.
That's
Yeah, the
not as
board
shocking.
corrected itself. And so in this position, obviously,
I
right?
looked at the board and then the board realized its mistake.
So this is the kind of position that
It's like quantum mechanics. You just have to observe it.
This is the kind of position where you know that the amateur player doesn't know which pieces to trade, and if I'm
Yeah.
white, I want to trade my dark squared bishop for their dark squared bishop, and then my knight will go to d4
I know.
and dominate the board.
Well,
Yeah,
I would
what's-
say in theory it's easy to say that. In practice, black is not going to allow you to trade out that bishop.
Unless black
are you
plays
guys-
in
No
the
idea what to
mechanics
do.
Well, how do you,
Tuesday
how do you
night
stop a
marathon.
knight to b3 or f3
Unless-
and then bishop b4, bd4? I mean, that's gonna.
Somebody is requesting, Chess on Earth is requesting, can you ask FIDE Master James to lend his cool hat to this kid and see how he looks? Oh,
He's gonna wear it
right.
better. Oh,
Okay,
he wears
yeah.
it much better than.
Oh,
And
well,
yet-
now my follically challenged head is exposed.
Well, I'll
I
try
don't like to
bring-
expose.
Paul has one
pieces.
just like that somewhere.
I have one. I have a black hat that I have to bring in. But black is probably equal in this position, and that's probably why these declined Marshall Gambit declined is just not, not that big a deal.
Well, I
Yeah.
think if he gets
Yeah.
b4 in, he can probably equal.
Saying you look Hollywood now. I think he's saying that about you, and
No, not me.
and,
Yes, I know.
Definitely
I
not
got that.
Jimmy. Hey, so Christopher, one of the things I mentioned when we were giving you the award is, how you came to that elementary school. You did the simul for the kids.
yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that, Dave?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's not the first time where you've gone to like a school where kids are beginner and you've done like an exhibition.
Pretty much every
Like-
single school I've gone to, kids are beginners.
Yeah, and that's not something you see a lot of, especially like top kids going around and doing that. Like, what kind of motivates you to do that? Because you seem like you enjoy spending the time and kind of giving
inspirational.
back. Yeah,
It's
I
Maybe
mean,
Well,
inspirational.
it's usually some contact with my dad to do it. It seems like good thing to do for me.
yeah, yeah.
I think
And
so.
plus,
Yeah.
it's fun to crush all those potsers.
I wasn't going to say
Just
that,
kidding.
but
I'm just kidding.
I was thinking.
unless he's given himself 10 extra points to go to an elementary school.
Ooh, yeah, motivation.
I would, but my point system, if
Not- you won't
is,
give
is
yourself
I
any.
get rich. I get lots of points, not just 10 points.
It's like 100 points or something.
No,
I
no,
see.
no, but like
Well-
by hundreds of thousands, pretty much.
yeah. We're talking
He likes to go
serious.
big. He likes to go big.
Yeah, why not?
So I want to hear more when we come back, everybody.
Break time.
We're going to take a break for 5 minutes, but I want to hear more about like how you got to be so good and
do you
any
have any
other
special
tips that
diet?
you have. Yeah, diet. Or,
No.
Do you like mandarin oranges?
No, well, I mean they're not bad, but not like I'm just.
You just like the
them.
color.
Do you
the
have
color of
brothers and
mandarin.
sisters?
Oh, you mean my shirt?
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
No, I wanted to wear. No.
That's a cool hat.
No brothers and
I was
sisters.
ready. I was trying to wear a different shirt, but
I love it. Look good. Stand out.
yeah,
It's a
that
good
one
color.
had some
Good color.
minor issues. So
Niner issues.
Okay.
What I want to know is what do you do if someone is prepared for you? Because now they're going to be studying your games and your openings.
well, everybody is prepared for me.
Right.
Well, sometimes I prepare a surprise. Sometimes I just try to make sure I know it better than them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you can prepare all you want. If you're better prepared, who cares?
Shall we take a quick break and
All
come
right.
back
All right,
Yeah.
sound
in a
good.
few minutes?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Christopher. Hey folks, we're back. FIDE Master James Eade, International Master Christopher Yu, and I am FIDE Master Paul Whitehead, and we're back here with a live commentary on round 4 of the venerable Tuesday night marathon. And Christopher has been talking about how good he is and how bad we are. And
No, I never
that's
said
not
anything
true.
about
I'm
that.
just kidding. Talking about his chess career and going to Texas. He's going to Texas to play in a tournament in 9 days. I'm sure that'll be a possibility for Grandmaster Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, every tournament is a possibility.
Every tournament now is a possibility.
Well, they have to be strong enough.
You can't get a Grandmaster Norm
without playing well.
in the Tuesday night marathon
Yeah.
either. So, but on the other hand, these are hard-fought games, and we're going to keep rolling through them. I want to get through at least one complete circle
Pass-through.
circumference. This is the top board in the AB section. We'll go through the opening. I'm always fascinated by how everybody got to where they are. And so this is the top board in the
Another
AB section.
Center counter.
Another center counter.
Scandinavian.
This time, White didn't play knight c3, played knight f3, and bishop g4. This is a very conservative way for White to play, huh?
Oh, and
Black
black
is-
does not waste any time.
No? Do you know anything about this?
I don't.
No,
This looks
but
like the wrong way for White to play.
Yes.
Because when
Doesn't
Black
look
plays
good.
pawn to e5, this is not going to look very pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that that's the right place for the
How
queen.
strong are these players?
These are AB players, the AB section. So they're making mistakes that are instructive, you know, for that masters, I'm playing ways that strong masters would not play. Like c4 is a move that weakens the dark squares in the middle and is just a, you know, a superficially attractive move.
And it leaves the D pawn backward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
backward D pawn,
And one of the
etc.
things about players in this rating class is usually their piece play is stronger than their pawn play. And you can take advantage of weak squares that they leave you, and that
But
sort of
White
thing.
plays d4 anyway, and what is
What's-
that?
Well, he's thinking bishop takes
He's
nine.
thinking along
What?
some.
Bishop takes nine.
This just looks flat out bad.
It does to me too.
Bishop d5 doesn't, maybe not
Maybe.
terrible.
Bishop d5, maybe not terrible. But White's resorting already to tactics to try to
Yeah,
get himself out of
yeah.
a difficult position, so it doesn't bode well in general.
Speaking of boating, this is,
I'm not sure what the
Looking-
computers would say here, but
well, black has no weaknesses. The king is a little tiny bit exposed on the queen side.
this
but
is all right. Black has to defend the knight, and now
he's letting
bishop
the F pawn
bishop
fall,
f7
but
is not played
he
because
doesn't
of
care,
knight c2, I guess.
Right.
Something simple like that. All right, so White ventures forth out this way, and Black gets rid of the bishop right away. Black has done nothing wrong.
I don't see
Yeah.
anything
I
wrong.
mean, you know, maybe he's not played the greatest moves, but he's done nothing wrong. It
Yeah.
seems he
I
should
see
be
nothing
doing
wrong.
okay. All right.
Oh,
Well, anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to the top board in the under 1600. These guys are really going to show us how it's done.
okay.
But remember, there was this
Oh, yeah.
bad move where White played g4
Yeah.
Which is just a tactical
and
oversight.
Black saw knight g4, which you have to, and White is forced to play knight back to g2 to avoid even more losing another pawn or something, or the knight at h4.
White is saying, I meant to do that.
And so why does Black go back to h6?
I mean,
Not clear.
I guess to go to f5.
I know, but I don't think it's a good move.
Okay.
I don't either.
Because why give White anything, right?
Yeah.
And White just gets a
would-
little something by playing bishop h6. And this is
I would go to
just kind of a do nothing
Queen B3,
move
yeah.
almost.
Queen b3, yeah. I just
Queen
say
B3.
if he's thinking queen b6, so
This is a dangerous strategy for white, I think,
Well,
a little bit.
I would say it's interesting. You want
but
to play
maybe it's
e4,
you
so
has to do
you're
it.
pretty much down a pawn. So
Right.
it's good to play counterplay like
Right.
e4.
But what about this move?
Okay, that's not good. Like just e4, and I kind of like white has not so bad chance.
Okay, but white's
E4
just gumming
pawn
up.
takes, what do you do?
Oh, good question. Oh, good. Wait.
Well, yeah.
Oh, bishop's
Knight
on
to-
h5. Oh God,
Yeah.
bishop takes f3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Maybe.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's.
Yeah, just not a great
um,
position, I guess,
Yeah.
for.
So that's why you played rook d3 to
And why,
protect the
maybe
f
this is
pawn.
why black played knight h6. I mean,
Bishop
knight
takes
h-
f3, rook d1, but I think
Yeah.
black should be doing well there. Queen g5. and-
Black is up a pawn. I mean, he didn't have to compromise his pawn position over there.
I don't know
but
if that pawn's still listening, but you gotta protect your f pawn.
Rook d3 makes no sense.
Well, it's
he wants
protecting
to
the
protecting the
pawn.
f3 pawn,
so he can
prepare
play
Oh, I
e4.
see. I see.
But
So it makes-
Whoa.
rook e3. Something feels there should be a better plan for white than this.
Okay. Well, this is charming. Or
King
interesting.
d8.
Yeah, the
And,
rook
uh,
goes
Back to
repetition,
e3. Oh, he forced the king to d8.
Okay.
Smart chess.
All right. Now maybe black will play king c7.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe black
Come
will play
on,
king
do it.
c7.
Castles by hand, queenside.
Chess on Earth is wondering why he didn't take up chess at a younger age. But,
Christopher?
How-
Does he mean Christopher or himself?
yeah, no, he says he wished he had started
Oh,
playing
I
chess at a
see.
young age.
Yes.
But, well, it's never too late, right?
Yeah.
I asked
There's no sense
I
in
asked
regretting.
Fabiana how he thought he would be doing when he got older, and he thought he'd still be playing at a really high level. So.
Well, that's the way to
He's
think.
already at a really high level.
Yeah, he's
Good
already
point.
at a really high
Well,
level.
well, that's like 95% of the job. Most people don't get there.
Well,
That's
I
right.
remember talking to Boris Gokul about this, and he said that his chess knowledge had expanded, but his results weren't as good.
Uh-huh.
Because I think you lose your ability to calculate as quickly and as thoroughly
Sure.
as
Sure, and you get
did when
tired,
were
and you
younger,
get physically
get
tired.
physically tired. That's the people always forget. There's a physical component to chess.
We thought black was doing fine here. Let's see how the game developed. H6.
Why? What's
Now
he thinking?
does that?
wait,
He wants
he's
to play
gonna
queen g5. And black, that looks like not
That's-
a very ambitious
No.
move.
That's 2300 chess for you. Deep.
Oh, I see.
Deep and confusing due to millions of variations of calculation.
All right.
'Cause
Cannot be
he's gonna
explained.
force f5 and
I mean, I would have played a5 almost without thinking to prevent knight b4, but
Yeah.
let's
Right.
see. Rook
he
d1,
doesn't play it.
bishop e6, knight b4.
No, that's,
You may be right about a5. Maybe it's the best move.
Well, what about why h6? What could have
I
been
think
gone
he was
through?
thinking.
I don't know.
G5.
I
Who's
really
going
don't
through
know.
his head?
I don't know. I really don't think it's a good move.
All right, I don't either.
So yeah,
Well-
a5 looks logical to
It
me.
just looks logical to try to break open the queen
sure
side
does.
and to prevent knight b4 and knight d5. H6 is an odd one.
Yeah.
Odd
Well, I
move.
like it,
Yeah.
just to be bad cop.
All right, h6. What a great, bizarre, strange move. Okay, all right. Let's go on to board 2.
Okay, we didn't like it the way Elliot had played it.
a3 and black played knight a6 and rook ab1 and
That's
bishop
what we thought,
h4.
and bishop h4.
And white's made no attempt to stop the trade here.
Yeah, I did think
This should be fine for black now.
I did think that king
Yeah.
g1,
Probably.
king h1, bishop g1 was the idea for white. So I think he may have given black a little chances here that black probably shouldn't have. And now black, it looks fine to me. You're expanding on the king side.
This whole thing, I mean, black didn't have to waste so much time over. Okay, white goes c5
okay, he's
anyway.
going for it. Because he's going to take and then take on a6, yeah. Okay, but I don't think this is a terribly good strategy.
Maybe terribly.
I don't know. This might be all that white could go for
just
in this
terribly.
position. There was nothing else to try.
Yeah,
That's
that might
part
be a
of the
good
point.
point.
Maybe.
I mean,
Yeah, because I like
And maybe black's
black's
G5 is not as well thought out as it could have been either. Maybe black could have made another C6, I don't know,
Well,
then
why not
taken
play
B5.
G5? I don't. I mean, you want to expand on the king side, and that's your advantage, right? The king space. The king side.
Yeah, but okay, so what's white gonna do? He's gonna play C5 and take on A6. If I was black, wouldn't be necessarily just saying go ahead and do it. Try something else, play Queen E7 maybe, play another useful move.
Okay, Queen
Do you
E7
know
has
what
a
I'm
point
saying?
to it. Yes, I
Maybe
do.
play another useful move.
Yeah.
Queen E7 looks like
Because
a good
what
move.
else is white gonna do? So,
Right.
but on the
Queen
other hand-
E7 looks good, yeah.
Yes, I agree.
all right, so this, black has provoked a crisis that he may not have wanted to get himself into here. I mean, this is, white has some,
Well, why not just take it with the rook? You could
Well, just B
shift
takes
it over.
C5.
B takes C5, B7's hanging, and then there's,
Queen E7, like knight D1.
or D6
Excuse
and
me.
knight D5, or
Yeah.
something scary like that.
I feel like white should keep the pawn center, like knight D1.
Yeah, the pawn center's strong.
Uh-huh.
Rook C1. It's not particularly clear. Maybe knight B2, knight D3, and take advantage of E5 weakness and just play slowly, like positional masterpiece sort of thing.
All right. Okay. So white's on the way to a positional masterpiece.
Yes.
See, if I was black,
I
I,
don't
wouldn't.
think-
If I
Here.
was black, I would have not been so quick to play G5.
Yeah, I agree. Queen E7
Yeah.
is a better move.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
All right. Let's go to this game.
So
Okay.
pretty much showcasing plan I said.
D5.
C5.
Black did
Knight,
play.
Wow.
you played knight D2. She played A4 to prevent B5 and put the knight on C4. So basically, the game has gone exactly as I said.
Well,
A4, knight C4.
la-di-da.
No, white's better. White's definitely better.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
back here.
Boy, it's
Uh,
hard to think
Back,
of what black does.
back here, I think my plan of playing knight b6 might have been a little better.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because I'm going to always have the last word.
Well, yeah, that's
But actually-
that's what
actually-
the host privilege
actually-
is all about.
But actually, I'm not a bad positional player in my own. It's the tactics where I'm going to, and the opening where I'm going to get murdered. So let's see how this went. Rook d1. This game was very tense here.
And this is where we expected queen to.
Yeah, queen takes f3, as pointed out by.
Yeah, we didn't analyze it
Christopher
deeply, but it did look
was
very
strong.
solid.
I'm not sure which. Okay, so let's see.
'Cause you got the rooks and the
Rook
bishop,
E2,
yeah.
White's just deciding to play this slowly. This
This
looks
just feels
wrong.
like something
Feels
went wrong.
Yeah, I agree. G6, which underlines the weak E5 pawn. I think black is already in the driver's seat here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting that you would say that. It's not. There's still some dark squared weaknesses around the
Yeah,
king.
no, it's still. I maybe.
Yeah.
Makes
let's
me
see.
a little nervous.
Maybe B4?
Yeah, B4. Maybe G6. I mean, I'm not sure that G6 was the right move either in the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
not
see.
sure either.
It's hard.
Basically, he was worried about rook H3.
Right, of course.
Point is black has bishop takes E3, and maybe he has
Yeah.
to play rook H takes E3. So maybe B4.
Yeah,
Right. And then,
because H3 is not really a
so
threat.
B4.
Rook H3 is not really.
So maybe knight D1 is the way to go.
Then knight E5.
Yeah. Maybe gets. So maybe B4.
B4. Can white play, I mean.
Knight A4?
Knight D5 and rook H3 or something.
Queen G6.
Oh, queen is defending on that diagonal.
Yeah.
I mean, on that, yeah.
So
So
Interesting.
B4. What's white going to do? Yeah, G6 might not have been necessary right there. Queen
Yeah.
G5. I guess
I like
B4
B4
is
is better.
B4 is still possible.
yeah.
It still looked better than, well,
Okay. Well, these positions, the players are either seeing less than we are or more than we are.
which is always
And,
possible, because they've been thinking longer and harder.
Yeah. And sometimes they come in later and tell us what they were thinking of, but
I'm thinking b4, knight moves, and queen b5. So then maybe c4 then.
and then you're hitting the
If
rook
you
on
on-
E2.
yeah. So c4 then, if you en passant, knight takes c3, and
Right.
it's some sort of mess. Like queen
Good
d3,
point. Good point.
maybe it's.
It's
Okay, so
interesting.
somebody's
It's
saying
interesting.
queen b6 here for black. That looks like a good move.
Certainly
That
playable.
chess on earth. That looks like a reasonable move, hitting the rook
Yeah.
on f3 and yeah. I mean, this is. I think this is somehow. I think all this should work out for black, but we're still,
And
you
black
know,
is
it's dangerous.
So, except for G6, I think black is, all the pieces
And
are
I
well
want to. I want to
positioned.
also comment. Nicholas Wang is. He's a young man. He's maybe younger than you, I think.
Ah.
And he's playing Michael Walter, and he beat Michael Walter last in round in this same tournament. But the game is being replayed because they got repaired for round 4, and.
Ouch.
And
Yeah.
so now
I
Michael's
would-
getting his.
Michael's not.
Michael's got a chance to get his. So that game is getting rated, got rated. But Nicholas said flat out he can outcalculate older chess players like Michael Walter.
He did.
Yeah,
He did
He
last
said
week.
it right here. Just was, you know.
After his
And I
win?
looked at him and I was like, well, you know, that's, you know.
He was
So,
He
as
was-
long as the game is complicated, you know, that's one of the things that he's relying on. He's a younger player, and he's just said flat out, I'm better at calculating than the older guys are, you know?
And there may
This
be
game is
truth.
the true test.
yeah.
This game, yeah, here we are in another test of that. So,
Only black should be. Black is better, by getting a better position than last game.
right, okay,
I
okay,
bet
good.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. All right, so let's go to Childress versus this. These are two. Let's see. This is board 5 expert versus A player.
Can he do that?
And
Is that tactically sound, Christopher?
What?
Is
What?
that tactically sound?
yeah, let's see. This
I'm
was
not
this was
sure.
this A6 H3 thing that we saw in the center counter, and now White played my knight H4 move.
Well, it's
And black
the move
plays
to play.
B5. Okay.
I would not.
Yeah, I
have
would
played
not. I
B5.
think
Yeah,
bishop G6.
bishop
was-
G6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felix goes his own way in the opening. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Let's come back here. So I'm guessing bishop D3, although it's possible to retreat it to B3 as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You always have to be a little, or even it could even go to F1 or E2.
I would be thinking F1 myself.
I always like those moves, bishop F1. Those
Yeah.
are-
I don't
I'm fond of
feel
them.
it's right in this position.
I think you're probably right. It's not necessary here.
Yeah, but I like it.
But I always like the move itself. Bishop F1 has always been one of my favorite moves.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You want,
okay.
you wanted G3 and Bishop G2 and
It's too slow.
Yeah.
I'm
Bishop
wondering.
D3 is
I'm
what?
wondering here what if black plays knight C6.
Instead of G6.
Yeah.
Okay, so back here, knight C6 is the question. And that's
It looks like a good
develop. I tell my students, develop your pieces. You know, G6 is
'Cause
slow.
you
Knight
would-
C6 is fast.
you would
you
trade
want
the
to play
D4
fast
pawn
moves.
for the F5 pawn.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. Right?
Black wants to get black wants more. Queen F3.
Basically, white will want to play knight E2 C3 to protect D4. Maybe
Correct.
he can go
Correct.
more concretely, but now
like,
D4
This
pawn
doesn't
is
look
weak.
right tactically to me.
Oh, knight G4 here. Then Queen A8. Knight G4, Queen A8. Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Black can sack exchange and has some compensation.
Mm.
Rook takes A8, bishop takes D6.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
got a
black
pawn.
can play Queen D7 here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
basically, preferably, maybe this works concretely, but white should then play knight E2 C3, so D4 is not as weak. And then he should have an advantage.
So queen g7 and knight e2 with an advantage for white. I agree.
Maybe it even works here. I was just talking general principle,
Right.
but maybe here.
Right.
I was thinking.
It's always for a chess player to mix those two, the concrete with the
Yes.
general. That's where
Yes.
the strong players are able to integrate their skills by mixing
And
the
always-
general with the concrete.
Because the general principles always have an exception that proves the rule.
And they're the underpinning for the a lot of the reasons that calculations are made. The reason I'm calculating this is because the position tells me to do that, or so.
Yeah,
All the best positional players are good calculators.
Mm-hmm.
that's true too.
Yeah.
I've always found that they don't hang pieces.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so black is still thinking, and thinking is sometimes a dangerous thing to do. Let's go to Boldy. This game, Boldy Kuchek.
You're
Wow.
telling me
What
not to
happened?
think.
Thinking, yeah. Don't think too much. Bishop e2, knight e. Okay, so wait a minute. Queen takes e4. We were at this, thought black was lost.
That's
Black,
I
that was-
still
black
think
even
he's
went
lost.
back here. And
Now
this-
he's just playing it like some regular game.
Yeah, and again the knight goes to g4.
to get there.
And this is just
Okay.
hopelessly bad for black, I think. Probably white could have taken with the other pawn as well. I mean, as long as white
Yeah,
remains
but
two
still,
pawns
what's the
up,
problem?
there's
Yeah.
not going to be any issue here.
Well, that might have been a little loose, but
Yeah, well, white is trying to just finish the. This should be no problem.
I agree. I don't see.
Although, I mean, white could probably just play bishop takes g6
Why
and bishop
wouldn't
d2 or something. Yeah, I mean, black is just thrashing around here, hoping for something, hoping for a miracle. Right. So, okay, let's just move on.
I would take the knight.
Yeah, taking the knight looks good. Okay, we have this game where
Oh, we thought he would play.
after
takes
c4, white did play b3, and then black decides to not
Not
to
take
take
it.
on b3, plays
Okay.
bishop b4,
Well, that's
and is
forcing.
loading up on c3, and white, I
But now
think
you
white's
can't.
just not gotten much out of this, and
Yeah. What if b takes c4? Here?
yeah, I'm not sure
After
that queen
is
b6
it? Yeah, I'm
is
just
great.
wondering. Yeah, b takes c4.
Yeah, I don't think queen b6 looks right.
Yeah.
I mean, also there's knight a4.
Could black last move play bishop
Yeah.
f5?
Bishop f5, and if queen f5, bishop c3, that looks good enough for some kind of equality, probably.
Hard
yeah.
to say equality in such a position.
Yeah, but I mean,
Correct.
to keeping the tempo of
Yeah.
a play is what I meant.
It is
what
consistent.
I meant.
However you put it.
Queen b6 attacks the
Doesn't
d4
quite
pawn,
look right to me,
and white's thinking probably about playing knight a4 or
But-
taking on c4 or
Yeah.
something like
though.
that.
I would just take on c4.
Along
Why
those
not?
lines. All right, I'll move on if you all don't mind
We
to
all don't
board
mind.
8. This game,
So he's trading off the bishops
he is
because
managing.
bishop d8, rook e8 is me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe black shouldn't have played bishop f5.
Yeah,
A3,
that's,
a5.
that just allows
knight
away.
f3. There's no reason to play bishop f5 here.
Yeah,
Leave the bishop on e6.
yeah.
It's fulfilling an important function.
A big pawn.
Play pawn to b4.
Yes, I would play b4 in a heartbeat.
Maybe, unless it yeah, that's
He's basically was afraid of like a takes b4, rook takes a8, c takes b4. He didn't like this pass pawn.
yeah, that's
But you
this.
have the two bishops. I'm not too worried.
Maybe black should just play some neutral move like h6.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But you were just criticizing
neutral
h6
move
in
here.
the other game.
It's hard to keep still in chess sometimes. Bishop f5
Now I
is
like white.
inviting. Now white seems to be getting something here. I agree. How about bishop e4? That's consistent. And
Yes, that might
Bishop
be good.
takes f6.
And then bishop f3.
Bishop e5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
sharply seen.
Not for bishop e5. We could have like bishop takes
Younger
g7,
kid.
bishop
Yeah.
takes g2.
Bishop g7, bishop takes g2. Yeah.
Bishop
But
h8, bishop
E5
h1.
Bishop e5 puts the. Okay, but yeah, that's true. But bishop e5. So if bishop e4, bishop f6, bishop f3, bishop e5. So black is struggling here a little bit.
I think so. I think you don't want the knight on it, because then knight on d4 with the bishops off.
I think we're seeing
That's a bad
yeah.
ending for white, or for black rather.
Yeah, this bishop f5, this pseudo-active move is a mistake.
I think so. It's better as a big pawn.
This is
Ooh.
the AB, top board, the AB section where we thought that white
White
had
was-
just jettisoned a pawn for nothing.
Yeah.
But black bishop goes back to d6 instead of b6.
I would
I guess on b6 is the target for white pawns, maybe? I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
possibly.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but anyway.
Bishop looks better on d6.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's
Ooh,
a
that's
little tactic.
Ah.
He's being mean. F4, another tactic in return. Knight
Okay,
F.
now I'm.
Knight c2.
Now I have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Clearly this has gone wrong for white.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Now
I
knight
can't see any
A1. What's
point.
wrong with knight? If knight A1,
Right.
bishop D6, rook D6, knight C5, B5. Is that what white's? Is that
Yeah.
what
Would
this?
just play back to d7?
What do you think?
Because
Yeah, knight takes a7 and knight c6 ideas.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
I don't actually think it works. B takes c6, D takes c6, rook moves, queen check, king c8, king d8, and queen c8. Probably a pretty long
Yeah.
variation to visualize, but
No,
see,
I think
Yeah,
we can
I think
follow
you-
that. I think that's very
it's
well
all clear
seen.
captures, so it's easy to calculate.
but
That's well seen.
yeah, it's very feels maybe white has after like rook
Maybe some
d6,
surprising
rook
move.
d6, queen a6. Point is queen c8, queen b5, king a7, rook f3.
All right, say that for me one more
Yeah, I
time.
didn't follow
So
that.
if you take
Bishop
on
takes.
a1, take
Right.
on d6, take on d6, knight b5, rook d7. Oh, okay. I just realized myself after knight takes a7, what back is king d8.
King D8.
Yeah, I was about to mention some other long variation, but king d8 is just a candidate move, and it seems
So does white have any other move? I mean, D6 just doesn't look right there after. So knight A7, king D8, and yeah, that's probably good enough.
and black can play king e8 and hope to castle.
Yeah, and white still has to spend time taking that knight at A1. All right,
And he can just play rook takes a1. That's
Yeah.
not really any time. But
right.
just queen takes f4, and yeah.
Black
Yeah.
is doing well here. All right, and so we're back on this game where
got
white
you got
finally
E4.
gets to play e4. How did that
Okay.
happen? Castles, bishop d6, rook d3, queen g check, and this little dance of something here.
And then-
Rook e8 looks like a good move, but white.
Would say it's a pretty nice plan. Especially, yeah, it's a pretty
The
nice.
white's finally
Inter-
gotten pawn to
Yeah.
e4 in.
It's a pretty nice plan demonstrated by white. Probably not the best, but shows some understanding.
I still think king c7 is coming up. Don't, please prove me wrong, Ilya. But if black plays king c7, it's a disaster. But-
He might
Well,
play
right
bishop
now
takes
it is.
f3.
Oh yeah, bishop takes f3.
e5 is white's idea.
Right. And then maybe sacrifice on e5. That's probably not good. Maybe black should play bishop f4 check. I don't know. But yeah, there's problems now with taking on d5, and white's getting it looks like he shouldn't. The fianchetto knight on g2 is so
Yes.
awful looking.
We
you know?
had that theme
And yet
one round.
here it's almost working perfectly.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't. I don't trust it.
It should be on e5.
Yeah, I don't trust it. But
Is there a single? Yeah.
somehow white has managed to befuddle black a bit here, quite a
Yeah.
bit actually.
Yeah. This
And
you
Well, I
played
don't feel
rook
that
d3,
befuddled.
rook e3 to
Yeah.
provoke king d8. Now back to d3 and e4.
I know,
Quite a
it's
play.
genius. It's genius. Yeah. It's genius. All right, let's go back to board one.
Also h4 to kick out the black queen so he can go back to d3. It's a weakening maneuver.
Yeah. It's interesting to see. It's almost computer-like, right? Okay, so let's see. Knight c2,
Okay.
h6. This incredible h6 move. What?
Well, you liked h6 in the
Rook
last
d1.
game.
No,
No, we're
what game?
okay. This is the
Ah,
point.
yeah,
This
that's
is
it.
why.
Yeah. And it's a good plan.
Isn't he just losing? I mean, it's a positional pawn sacrifice. Something
I-
tells me this is not how black should play this.
I
This
agree.
is so bizarrely played. Very
I
strange.
don't understand all of a sudden.
Strange, but White's thinking now. Is it? So we're looking at
You're
Queen
gonna
g5, Hg5, Rook d6, G4.
No, I would think
guess.
a5.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, there's some very strange play by Black here. I think. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
this
don't
is
think
consistent.
Queen g5
This is
was right
consistent.
just in that
Consistently
position.
strange.
Yeah, consistently strange.
I think he had a better move than Queen g5 there. But that was the idea, but I think he got stuck on his idea rather than... I'm not sure. I just think that was his plan and he stuck with it, and maybe sacrificing the pawn was not intentional. I don't know.
So let's analyze. Let's get concrete here. So Queen takes g5, H takes
He
g5.
played Queen g5 simply because he didn't find any other good moves. Just like, whatever.
Queen g5, H g5, Rook takes d6.
That's
Is
not-
Black going to take advantage of the uncastle?
Maybe thinking a5. I don't know.
Right, and Rook d8, and somehow
Yeah.
finding some way. Yeah, a5 and taking on a2. But White can always plug the
Knight on
the-
d5.
yeah, can always play knight g5. So this is so odd for
It's
White.
not. Doesn't look like terrible for black. He shouldn't be like much worse, but he should be worse.
Yeah, it's interesting play. It's interesting play. But as they say, a bad plan is better than no plan at all. All right, let's go to this game, g5, and
He
White
should
took-
have just probably played like a5 earlier and get his play.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
B
that
takes
I did not
a6.
expect.
That's controversial, but
Okay,
Maybe-
so Black takes
He wants
this
to,
way.
he wants to pass the
He's putting
pawn.
all his eggs in this H. This is, yeah.
Yeah, I
okay,
didn't mi-
it's
I
like,
don't-
I'm going to play
he's
for
gonna-
mate.
yeah.
And
something tells me that engine would say like +2 here for white. This
interesting.
This does not
interesting,
feel right.
Interesting. This passed pawn at A6
That's
is
fine.
going to
That's-
win the game
That's
for Black.
like long-term Elliott thinking endgame all the way here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
He's gonna win the
exciting
king and pawn
chess. It's
ending.
exciting chess,
It
whatever you can
is,
Yeah.
say.
and I can't.
Problem is black's pawn on e5 and the pawns on c5 and d5 for white.
Yeah.
Well, the center is white's, and the
Yeah.
e pawn is weak.
Okay.
He's asking for it.
Interesting stuff. All right.
Plus
We're,
two though, I don't know. It's +2.
We're here. I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. This is FIDE Master James Eade.
Hello.
And we're surrounding International Master, trying to gain tremendous chess
You
insight.
squeeze his head on this side, and
International Master Christopher Yu, who is who's just won the Falconer Award, given to the top player under 1800 in California, or I guess Northern California. And he's helping us provide commentary to the fourth round of the Tuesday night marathon.
And we should mention this is the Max Wilkerson marathon.
Thank you again, Max
And-
Wilkerson Memorial Tuesday night marathon.
And we should also mention that the Falconer Award is in honor of Neil Falconer, a longtime Mechanics Institute trustee, who is a great friend to chess.
Yeah, so here at the historic Mechanics Institute Chess Club, former director James Eade, we're commenting on a tournament honoring former chess room director Max Wilkerson. And so here we are, back to the chess. Rui Yan has played d5 in this game, and we got this positional game going here where black is being forced
Yeah, gotta like
on
white here.
his knees here. b5 is thrashing out. Can white play knight d6?
Why not?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know either.
She's thinking about it. This is the obvious move here.
So takes and then twice and then.
Knight f6, trying to.
No, queen d6. Maybe you should take with the bishop though.
So, okay, so knight c takes d6, and then black's move.
If you take with the bishop f5. So basically, here are the variations. Knight c takes d6, knight takes d6, knight takes d6, and queen f6 is what I'm thinking.
Ah,
Yeah.
knight f5 then?
G6 maybe.
Then
Knight h6?
Then knight h6, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe knight
Maybe.
f6, queen takes b2. White looks better, but she's not feeling so confident with all these complications.
Correct, but she is a pawn up.
I would say, yeah, I think knight f5 and white should be better because of the strong pawn on d5.
Right.
Oh wait, knight f5, is there c4?
But
I'm thinking c4, queen e4,
Oh.
and like
yeah, good point.
queen e4 maybe.
Knight c.
Looks
yeah,
like
knight
white is like
c5 then.
queen e5. Looks like white barely holds everything together. So
It is complicated.
It is
More-
complicated.
More
yeah.
complicated than I thought. You're right. Okay.
And also, if you play knight c takes d6, bishop takes d6, there's f5. And bishop takes f8, f takes e4, and
Wait. I gotta catch up with you. Knight takes.
no,
Bishop
bishop
takes.
takes. I'm looking at now, but f5 because if bishop takes f8, f takes e4.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's even unclear. I guess queen e4, king f8, queen h7 or something. I don't know. This is
It's hard.
very complicated here. Needs to be, yeah. I'm not sure what's happening, and that's why I'm going to chicken out and go to the next game.
Okay, we always have that. in our
Wang
back pocket.
versus Walter. Look at this h5 move is played. Rook e2.
Well, it's almost forced.
Rook e2,
isn't it?
g6, queen g5. Black trades on e3. Plays knight c5. Okay, so
Gives
this is,
lift.
I guess this is white's, this is a simple way for black to play. As long as there's no, so what about queen h6 here? The idea of playing rook h3.
Got back rank issues though, also, because b4 is in the air now.
what if
No.
white just goes for it?
Goes for it.
Yeah,
That's a thought of mine anyway here.
yeah.
Just like
I
try
don't
to
know.
muscle in. But instead, white plays h4. This is slow.
Nah.
But maybe, I mean, it's
It
scary.
does kind of force h5, right? And that's weakening.
He's motivated by alpha 0 play, h4.
So rook d3.
Okay, alpha 0. We're all motivated by alpha 0.
Who isn't?
That was
alpha
that
0 is
was-
my favorite chess.
Oh.
So is white still has good
Well, rook
play here
d3
somehow.
Looks strong to me for some reason.
Rook f3 here?
g3. I was
Rook
thinking.
g3.
Threatening queen takes.
Queen h5, yeah.
And maybe rook takes and after that. Maybe.
Rook g3, king h7.
Yeah, good move.
Maybe queen h6 here for white, but there's always b4, then
Yeah.
rook g3. So these sorts of concrete variations.
Oh, I like queen h6.
Then maybe
I
queen
like
d7.
That is a
Yeah, I was just
scary
talking
move.
about it. So
Yeah.
queen h6, b4, rook g3, and this strange looking move, queen d7. And then knight a4, knight takes a4, bishop takes a4.
And if queen a4, there's a
Rook
perpetual
g6
check.
and
Yeah.
perpetual. So,
Yeah.
Is that what white wants now, perpetual?
I mean, I don't see anything better. Black
I-
can probably
I
get
agree.
an advantage in
I
some
agree.
way.
So queen h6, does black have any other move? Maybe rook
Yeah, yeah.
d4?
Maybe queen d7, queen d4,
Oh, I see, yeah.
but I don't.
This is scary for black.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think about white had played queen h6. It's bad for
Earlier,
him.
instead of h4
yeah,
even,
h4. It looks black has
Yeah.
good game.
I
Queen
think you're right.
h6.
Why allow?
Basically, the difficult decision I would be considering is should I play rook h3 or queen h6? Is there a difference that makes one an
I-
advantage and the other not?
I think the players
Well,
are getting away with a murder because you're not playing them. If you were playing them, these games would be.
Well, queen h6 has the, it blocks the h pawn, so you can't get out that way. The only way to cover the h7 square.
We're looking
would
at
be
queen
with
h6 right here,
f6
folks.
or f5, right?
Basically, f6, f5. Yeah, if rook h3, it's not there. So, rook. Something tells me rook h3 is the right move.
So rook h3 and then queen h6.
Yeah.
Now that looks even stronger.
But basically, if I was playing some GM, they would think a long time and maybe come up with something like queen d7, queen h6, and maybe like f5.
Right, right.
And then, so yeah, the issue with the thing about stronger players, they put up when they get bad positions, it's
They
hard
put
to
up
beat them.
resistance.
It's
Yeah.
hard to beat them.
Yeah.
They're still putting up
So-
their
It's
resistance.
actually pretty.
Let me tell you about
stronger you
not
get-
beating a good player.
The strong,
Even in one
yeah,
position.
the stronger you get, the more difficult it gets to win one positions.
I agree completely.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here we go. Let's. We're at
Still,
h4,
still very
h5.
interesting.
Let's go to board
Rook
five.
h3 might have been a move.
Jason Childress does play queen g7 here, and we're in a long think by white. White's trying to
Yeah.
think of the right winning.
You mean Felix played?
Felix played queen g7. Yeah.
You said Jason.
Yeah.
Well,
we're supposed to take
We always tell Paul that it's okay if he makes
we'll take a break in 15 minutes.
Well, he can't play bishop e5 here. Is that a threat? Not really.
So I like your idea of playing positionally now at this point, maybe knight e2 and
Yeah,
c3.
c3.
That makes
Can he-
sense to me.
Yeah, he can do that.
I guess black can play knight b4, knight d5, and the struggle continues.
The question is, should he get rid of this d3 bishop? Because then white does not have bishop pair.
Correct.
D3 bishop is sort of blocked, but I would say
It's
bishop
controlling
pair
a lot
is
of
something.
squares. Yeah,
Yeah.
But he does have the pawn majority
I would
on
say
the queen
black
side.
Scandinavian is pretty solid here.
Okay. All right. I like your evaluation.
Well, I'm not so quick to say that.
Maybe rook a d1 here or something. And
Knight takes d4 with
Yeah.
tempo.
I know. I'm trying to get away with something here. I agree. Knight takes d4. So maybe d5, but then I don't see anything clear even after just knight d5. But I could take twice and take on c7. So maybe d5, but then knight b4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, knight.
Okay, let's move on to Ethan Boldy versus Kuchek, and we had
Yeah.
Bishop g6 was played as we
Okay.
thought, and white plays knight e4, centralizing the knight. But doesn't Bishop d2 look possible here as
Sure,
well?
bishop d2 is possible.
Just develop. Okay, knight e4 takes, and black is thinking. It's about
it's gonna-
time that black started to
Yes,
think.
yes. He's, you're joshing, but it's
Queen
okay.
h5. I'm looking for some cheap tactic here.
Are you falling into cheap tactic, queen c4?
Yeah, there you go. I'm falling into a cheap tactic. Yeah.
They just got to hit the queen with a rook, probably.
Queen d3,
Actually,
I'm sorry.
the cheap tactic I was looking
Queen
at.
d3.
That same problem, huh?
The cheap tactic I was looking at was queen h5, knight. White plays knight g5, and then queen takes g5. So, but Yeah.
What does knight g5 even do?
Well, it blocks, it stops queen d5, but yeah, queen d3, queen c4.
Queen
No, that's
d3,
a-
there's queen
queen
takes
d3 is a
d5,
threat,
but
right?
then knight c3, so some sort of. Then knight
Okay.
c5, so it's like some sort of strange.
All right,
Yeah.
so black plays more sensibly. He brings his knight into the game instead of listening to me.
Which is not sensible, you think?
So
Knight
queen
c5.
h5, white has to play queen c4. Knight c5. Yeah, I mean it's.
You know, queen
Black is
d3
getting a
wasn't-
little something here, and
Queen
that's.
d3 was a rook take, rook.
Yeah.
if the
What about
rook
knight
hit it,
takes
queen
d6
d3,
here?
Knight c5.
What about knight takes d6? This game is ridiculous. So
Just
far,
knight takes d6.
yeah. Knight takes d6.
Oh, thank you, Judith. She's taking over our chat because we're just focused on the
I,
game.
you know, it's like I said, black is getting a little something here. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe it's not enough, but it's still
Yeah.
it's too much.
I don't see how it
White's
could be
White's
enough, but-
given black a little something here. Oh, this must be Gary Kasparov trying to call me again. See if
Oh,
he can-
yeah.
See if he can get on the
He
show.
gets on my nerves too.
I've Carlson and Kasparov. You know, I have to like
Yeah.
tell them, hey guys, you know, I
I'm
mean,
working here.
Yeah, we got
Wait,
Christopher
what?
Yu here. We were, you know.
No, you can't be serious.
No.
You're
Well,
messing
That's
with
the
me.
last thing we are here. Serious.
It's the Charlie Brown ringtone, yeah. Yeah, so, well, no, yeah, that's, I reserved that one for Kasparov. Yeah. Okay, let's move on here. But like I said, black's getting a little something.
Oh,
Let's
it's
move on
very
to
little
Snyder
something.
He played knight a4, not b takes c4.
yeah.
Okay. Knight
Maybe
A4.
not the right
That
decision.
seems okay though.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, well, he takes on b4
Something
though.
tells me about taking on b4, queen to b2 cannot be the right
Right,
decision.
why does
Yeah,
white
I
give
agree.
black the tempo?
Why? Me no.
Or just take on c4
Yeah.
makes sense. Although
Yeah.
bishop d, yeah, you're attacking the queen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. The players are kind of, you know, making
They're not impressing us.
they're making stabbing motions, and so
Oh,
black
he did.
black decided to go in for this, which is rupture. Like, you know, interestingly enough, I was thinking that this, as horrible as it looks,
It looks horrible.
it looks horrible. Yeah, there was no reason for black to. Well, he kind of left himself open for this by playing bishop f5. It was ill-considered.
But if you were going to play rook a6, why would you take back with the g pawn here?
Well, if he takes back with the rook,
what
there's
happens?
still the issues involved. Yeah.
Well, there's still issues, certainly. But you don't have a crippled king's side.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of strange decisions going on here in this game. It's black is sort of
I'm mystified.
black is, yeah. Well, okay. Let's move on to the top board in the A-B section, and
Oh.
we did get a little bit of what we were talking about, where.
But black played queen d7, which might.
Okay, so
might,
knight c2, bishop c5.
Why take that?
Oh, he took on c5.
Why? I don't understand that. Someone has to
It
explain
gives
that
him
to
the
me.
option of playing back queen to d7,
Yeah, but why not just snap?
but it also gives white the opportunity to take on a7.
yeah.
Yeah, so it
We
seems
just
odd.
said that we could just snap the
Yeah.
rook on a1.
Well, they're not as seeing as far as we are.
Well, I'm wondering.
So if
If
black
I'm
plays
missing
rook
something.
d7, we can transpose back into our line.
He plays queen d7 though.
But he plays queen d7.
I think queen d7 is right since queen takes a7 is always possible.
Okay, and can white try? Oh,
Queen d4 is
yeah,
check.
queen d4 check. Knight a7, king b8, knight c6,
Right.
takes, queen d4 check. Okay.
So maybe it's actually not such a bad idea for and b6 here.
Black should play b6.
Wow.
That's a nice looking move. Yeah, it seems to me black should be getting out of this
Yeah.
somehow. I agree.
Been a pretty solid game for
Either
Black.
that or he's going to get mated in 2 moves, one or the other.
But the queen and knight are a nice attacking couple, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
there's
think it-
pitfalls for black here. If he plays c6, queen a7, for example,
yeah.
that's very strong. I mean, if not winning
Yeah.
on the spot,
So
just
don't
about.
play c6.
So I won't. Okay. What other moves? What other possibilities are there for black
Besides B6,
B6.
besides
Yeah.
b6?
Well, b6, if that's sufficient, then he doesn't need
offer a
others.
draw.
How about getting the knight out of the? Knight c2.
Maybe A6.
Yeah, a6. That's an interesting move too.
I didn't like a6 as a queen a7.
But then
Also,
queen
D takes
b5.
C7. Just D takes C7, take on D8, take on A1. B6 looks only when you
Wait.
move.
b6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's.
All right, b6 it is. And then if queen d5, c6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and knight a7, queen a7, queen c6, king b8. Yeah, there's nothing.
I'm gonna-
Doesn't look like there's anything.
I'm gonna say that looks all right for
Joined
white.
by Chessroom director here, Abel Talamantes.
Yeah, just a quick stop by. I'm seeing Daniel Perloff again wants to know how his dad's doing.
How is his dad doing? Yeah.
I think today we'd have to actually go see the board because he's not playing on DGT.
Right. Well, one of us could go take
So
a
we
look.
can't tell you.
How is there's a big time difference in this game? I see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
huge.
black is thinking a lot.
Black is doing more thinking than white. Whether,
It does seem like
but and he
B6.
finds B6.
there it is,
Okay.
B6.
All right. Well, his thinking is paying
Christopher-
off. I mean,
Christopher wouldn't have taken that long.
that's
to
why
find that.
we think in chess
I know,
because it's a
but-
good idea.
Not everybody can.
And
Yeah,
this is the
international
Mechanics
master.
Institute. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on here to board, top board in the under 1600 section, which we
Wow.
thought white was
Whoa.
just playing this brilliant conception
I like
here.
this white.
Um,
All of a sudden,
And
from
that-
a terrible position, it's
H5,
interesting.
nice move.
Nice
okay, so
move.
but black has this.
You got to take now, don't you?
Take a couple times, and the question is, how is white going to continue?
Yeah,
Huh.
maybe this wasn't so
Gotta take
great.
it.
Oh, there it is.
But I would say he has some compensation.
Knight-
Basically, the maneuver with the king on D8 was brilliant because
Yeah,
Yeah.
we agree.
at the same time, if the king were on E8, rook E8 would not be possible.
So white has some practical chances here. After he looks like he has to play knight takes e4, rook takes e4, and then
rook takes.
and then something.
Rook takes because white's
Something.
clock is running.
This is as a commentator, you can be as specific as something. As a player, you have to do something.
Well, yeah.
White's clock is still running.
You got to calculate a little more when you're actually there.
Well,
So
I
white's-
throw in I throw in some calculations.
White's
sometimes.
clock is still
Maybe
running.
rook
though.
takes
He didn't
E4,
press
rook
his
H4.
clock.
Rook h4 or
I haven't let
or
you
rook
guys get to
f3 or yeah
There you go.
Good job, guys.
yeah thank you
Rook H4, I think.
yeah rook h4 is interesting.
Rook E1. Rook
Knight
E1.
e1.
Queen H4.
Oh yeah that's right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Or queen h4 right away. No, it doesn't work.
White has played.
Knight h4, rook a, rook a, yeah. Okay, so as long as the black rook is out of play at a8, and there's still a lot of play here for white.
Yeah, but he can castle queenside by hand.
Yeah.
Seems to me.
An exciting game. I mean, it's still up
Yeah.
in the air. We'll see how
Yeah.
the players handle themselves here.
This is the sort of chess we like to watch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe
Yeah.
white has D5 here also.
Okay. Yeah, d5, opening up,
That is a
opening,
good
open-
idea,
opening
certainly.
up the game even more. Sure, there's lots of possibilities. Okay, let's go
play
back up to
C5.
board one. This mysterious game. Oh, we were right.
Yeah.
This was a kind of a positional sacrifice. Interesting, very interesting. Queen g5, and white did do this, and this was my strange idea with this. Is white in trouble here because of the lack
Why?
of development and
And it's true, the bishop can go to f8, making it awkward for the knight.
Looks like pretty good compensation.
Pretty good
Yeah,
compensation.
it's interesting. Yeah, this and it's a
'Cause that poor
tactical.
bishop on g2 is still not
There's some
doing
tactical
anything.
Yeah.
tactical reasons
Rook
why
f d8 is nice. But
nice slow move.
Should
yeah.
White really take that pawn on a6?
On d6.
After Rook
Oh, you
takes
mean,
d8. After
yeah.
Rook takes d8.
Oh, I see.
Why does he have to take on e6? He could just keep his
Right,
knight
he
there.
can just
And
play.
put knight on d5 maybe. Maybe he was thinking
Oh,
f5.
yeah. Knight d5 looks better.
F5, knight e7 check, and knight takes f5. That should be at least equal.
Yeah. Oh,
So if if bishop
question.
d5, then black could play f5 with the idea of playing pawn to e4.
wait a
Yeah.
second. What are you, where are you now?
So we're saying
Knight
if
d5.
knight d5, bishop d5, e d5, f5, and then with the idea of playing e4, rook takes d5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
looks-
Maybe
that-
then
that's
g4
complete.
and then takes and bishop e4.
Uh-huh.
Some nice stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So everything is a struggle for
very
the
good.
light
Maybe,
squares.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Struggle for the light squares. Okay.
May-
Interesting decisions
Yeah.
going back and forth here. So knight
But he did
a6
take
instead
knight
played
a6. And
bishop
now
a2,
we're
and
thinking
white
good
might
compensation.
be. Yeah, white's under a little bit of pressure here, I think. We're going
Yeah.
to take a break in a few minutes. We'll go have a chance to look at maybe a couple more games here.
Okay.
All right.
Looks like he's consolidating.
Black tried to come crashing through here. A knight a2, knight b4 is the maneuver chosen by white. I'm not sure that that's correct.
Well,
But
he's
that's-
saying, show me on the king side. I don't think you
right,
have anything.
but so this knight is coming to d3 maybe.
Yeah, just like I said.
Right, yeah,
Yeah, a long time
but black
ago.
black gets in g3.
Rook
so,
f1. Like cool. Rook e2.
okay,
Maybe better.
right.
Well, you
Maybe
gotta
bishop
take,
b5?
right?
Is bishop b5 something?
Bishop b5. Yeah.
Maybe just rook e1 and like whatever. I'm not sure if knight should actually go to b4. Feels a bit slow.
And obviously, white's king is going to play king
It did
h1
feel a
after
little slow to
takes
me,
here.
too.
Queen h4, h3, bishop h3 doesn't quite look like it's going to work yet,
Yeah.
but it's always something that white needs to be
So
scared about.
Still
What if
looks
taking on
like white
h2?
should be doing well here.
King h1 if you take on h2.
Right. But then h3, h4 rather.
Yeah, I mean, black is going to try to find some way in here, and it's going to come, it's either going to be sooner or later. All right, let's look at one more game, and then we're going to take a quick break. We'll look at Ruyan, this game versus Christian Clemens, and faced with this difficult decision, she did take on d6, knight d6, knight d6, and knight f6, which is what I said, whereas I thought queen f, we were looking at queen f6. Is queen f6 not, maybe queen f5?
Bishop takes d6.
Oh, and yeah, take on d7.
What? Wait.
Basically, queen f6.
Yeah, then
Queen
queen
f6.
Queen f6, like white is still doing well,
Yeah,
so maybe he just didn't like the positions and wanted, let's get rid of this d5 pawn instead.
Okay,
Well, which is good thinking, but it still leaves 2 on 1
So,
pawn majority
queen
on the queen
f6,
side.
knight
Yeah.
f5 is probably the move, right?
Yeah.
Although
g6,
that's
knight h6.
g6, knight h6. All right, so black decides to go after the d5 pawn in exchange for the b5 pawn, and is a pawn down.
And a healthy pawn, too.
Yeah.
Mark is saying hello.
Hi, Mark.
Do you know Mark? Why so serious?
Is Mark saying hello?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know who you are or why so serious. Oh, but Daniel Perlov is saying you played my coach once. Okay. So black is
an IM.
clearly, it's Mark Esserman. So does black have a chance here after knight d5, bishop
Knight
moves?
c7.
Oh wait, is why
Knight
so
C7
serious,
is-
Mark Esserman? No.
Yeah,
You can play knight
No,
c7.
it's his-
He doesn't
yeah.
have to retreat.
yeah,
the
it's
bishop.
Mark Esserman.
What about if knight takes queen, knight c7?
Yeah, I mean, black is just a pawn down here.
Looks like
She's. I think black needed to look for something sharper here in this position. I mean, queen c7 is going to run into queen g3. I think this, yeah, b5 was probably forced, and then didn't find anything here. We're going to take a break, folks.
Okay.
Ruyan is coming into this game ending a pawn ahead. All right, back in 5.
Good job.
Okay, we're back with Judith Starry, Director of Youth Outreach for the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, and she's going, and with FIDE Master James Eade, author of Chess for Dummies and former Director of the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. And Judith, can you tell us what's going on here at the Mechanics?
Yeah,
And,
lots of
in
exciting.
the future, and yeah, go ahead.
Well, we are gearing up to the biggest event of the year, which will be in 10 days, from the 15th to the 17th. We are organizing the U.S. Amateur Team West Championship. This is a team event, so we pair teams against teams. But if you're alone and you're looking for a team, we can always help you.
If you're a lonely chess player.
But find your chess players, friends, and form a team and come and play. If you only have a couple of friends, we can always find you additional players for your team to make a full team. So it's a fun weekend. We will be at Hyatt in Burlingame. It's a very nice venue, spacious venue, because they are nice inside the room, a really good setup. And then once you finish your game, you have a whole auditorium to just hang around, really good space. And I always like that
It's
venue.
a good site, and it's easy right off of 101.
I've never been there, but I'm going to be there on days 2 and 3
Nice.
with Grandmaster Nick DeFermian and guests. I'm not sure who they're going to be, but they might be some
Wow.
other strong chess
Hint, hint,
players.
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
We're going to be providing commentary for the top
I
two
think-
teams,
No, top 5.
top 5 teams.
So a top 5, we will have total of 20 DGT boards.
Wow.
So that the top 5 matchups. So
Okay.
top 10 teams, right?
Well, Nick and I will try to cover as much of that as we possibly can.
Oh no, that's
We'll
not
do our
true.
best.
You
Top
are gonna-
60,
The
yeah.
top boards on
Yeah.
those teams, not the whole team.
Yeah, I think.
No,
all
I
the
think we're
teams-
gonna do the whole team.
The whole team.
So
Okay.
because
'cause it's
especially
team versus team.
team
Right.
versus team. So,
So you get
4
20
boards.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so that's 5.
Yeah.
5 team versus team.
A lot of
match.
chess games to look at.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so we'll just try to probably concentrate on a few, and
Yeah.
we'll see
Muddle
what
through
happens.
the best you can.
We'll
Yeah.
do the best. We
And
can.
I think it's also, it's not merely about covering chess games for you guys. It's also for others to join in online, and they can follow a team.
Right, right.
so
especially
I
if they're
think-
winning.
Yeah, so I think that alone will be a really good change. I don't think there's a whole lot of tournaments other than Mechanics who are broadcasting regularly and multiple boards. And certainly in the life of the U.S. Amateur Team West, this is the very first tournament that will be broadcasted.
Very
so
exciting.
very exciting.
And the first DGT games as well as broadcast
Yes,
commentary?
yeah, DGT and
Wow,
broadcasting,
Okay, so
yes.
this is really exciting.
Yeah, so it's very exciting.
Yeah.
We certainly won't break records this year. We know that. We knew that right away. Mechanics just doesn't have the bandwidth in terms of advertising, and we don't have the network yet, as some other who have organizations. But so we are conservatively expecting around 200, 250 players.
That sounds like a lot to me.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
but we were close to 300 last year.
Okay.
So, but we know this. If we make it 200, I will be really happy. 250 would be magical.
And you
So-
want to build, so that's
Exactly.
just where you're starting.
Exactly. So, and I chess committee knows this expectation as well. So we are really happy about that. So we're gearing up. We are starting to post the advanced entries. So you can go online, chessclub.org, and find the page for the U.S. Amateur, which should be right on the homepage somewhere. And if you click on the page, information page, scroll down, and we're starting to list the teams, the players, and we're also listing the individuals. So if you're looking for just one last player in your team, you can actually handpick yourself, and we will get you in touch with them.
And so, like, what are some of the strongest What are some of the strongest players that have registered so far? Is there any grandmasters or international masters that? I
No,
should
no
know about?
grandmasters.
Not yet.
I have to check whether how many and who are the international masters.
Is Christopher Yu going to play?
Christopher Yu, I don't think he's gonna play. I
He
think
said in 9 days he's going
To
to
Texas,
Texas.
that's
Yes. So
right.
Texas,
Yeah.
they have a big norm tournament, and I know Eric Lee is going there too. So I'm guessing Christopher
Probably not.
goes. Yeah. But I'm expecting Kostya to play as
There's
the.
some IMs are going to show up
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know Josiah is not playing, but hopefully Elliot will put together a team.
yeah.
And we have some of the regulars coming back. I see them. They have the Excel Chess Club. They are.
It's like a little mini Olympiad or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
I've
Yeah.
never been to a
Yeah.
team tournament like that or seen one.
Yeah.
I played in the Amateur Team East
Yeah.
one year,
Okay.
and that was
Yeah.
a big tournament.
And you know
Fun.
who's playing in the Amateur Team East this year? Mark Pinto.
That's right.
I know, he
That's
told me
right.
So-
that, that's right.
I think next year, if we do get the tournament again, next year you guys
We have
should
to force
form
him.
a chess trustee team, and then you guys
Yeah.
should come
What a great idea.
with Patrick. Although we promised him not to invite
Yeah,
him
I know,
again.
I know, but,
but
maybe
Maybe
Simone
this
could
is
sing.
and you and Mark and who else?
Well,
is?
we have to be under 2,200, I think.
Yeah.
Well, by that
right?
time, you'll
So-
all be under
Well,
2,200.
Patrick would,
No,
would
no, no.
skew it a little
yeah,
bit.
but
So.
yeah,
Right. Well, he can be the super
So
GM. Just kidding.
yeah, so I'm really happy, excited to see some of the players I haven't seen because they only play this event. And
What happens if you win the Amateur Team West?
very good question. So as you know, we have 4 regionals. West is one. We have East on the same weekend, actually.
Let me guess. You have North and South.
Yes.
Okay.
There
You're
you
so
go.
sharp.
So
I'm really on the ball.
yeah.
yeah.
Normally, West, East, and South is on the same weekend, President's Day weekend, and North is usually 1 week after.
Okay.
This week, I think the South is a little bit shifted, but East is always on the President's Day weekend, and East is a huge event.
It's
they have
tremendous.
1,500 players,
Wow.
300 teams.
And it's going on simultaneously.
Yes, so that's going to be fun, but they are a little bit old school. For example, you can't register online. That's just that.
Interesting.
It's very interesting, but they
Right.
have all these fun side events and extra, so there's a lot of learning from them.
Right. And what town is it held in?
Somewhere in
Philadelphia.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
The
it's
town of
always
New
been in
Jersey.
New Jersey, but
Yeah.
I think they had moved from the city that I
Yeah.
played in to another city.
Okay.
So I can't
Well,
answer that.
Mark Pinto is
He's
from New Jersey,
so yeah. And he was getting pestered by friends of his. to
Right.
play-
Come
to
on,
play,
come
yeah.
on back.
Yes.
And, yeah. Okay.
Well, we had a Cal chess team once. when we
So
went back
was there another tournament? You were going to mention another tournament?
looked up. It's Parsippany.
Yeah.
Parsippany.
Well, that is the same town. So
Okay.
it didn't move.
It's
Okay.
a Hilton.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it was a good site. It was a
Yeah.
great site, well run. Steve Doyle is the organizer.
Yep.
And Steve Doyle's a past president of the USCF, current president of the US Chess Trust.
Oh,
And
nice.
he's just been a phenomenal organizer all these years.
Yeah.
And we're plugging the Amateur Team West, so
Yes.
I don't want to say how great the Amateur Team East is, because
They are really good, and they have this fun like costumes.
costumes, best costume, best
Wow.
team name.
That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
We will have the best team name too.
Oh yeah.
That's always a
Good,
fun
yeah.
fun side because people
Yeah.
can vote for it, and John McComsky will be the chief TD of this event. He's a national TD.
Right.
I learned probably the most from him regarding tournament directing, and he always
No,
helps.
He's been a serious tournament director
Yes,
for a long time.
for a long time. And so he always prepares the ballot and then we distribute it, and
Yeah.
it's a very fun
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
So I'm
It'll be
really
my first
looking.
one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're gonna love John. He's a very nice.
And the Amateur
yeah.
Team East is in New Jersey, so it can draw from the New York City population. So it has some advantages in terms
sure.
of how many people they can
Yeah.
get
Sure.
together.
Sure.
Yeah. Although I mean, we are drawing from LA. there are teams from LA.
That's
I
great.
think maybe San Diego, one team from San Diego.
Are there some out-of-state teams?
Yes, and then we will have Seattle teams.
Nice.
So Elliot Neff is bringing his
good,
teams
good.
from Northwestern or North.
Yes.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
I always mix up his anyway.
Well, he
his
may be
university.
doing it for his foundation as well. I
Yeah.
don't know, but
But the university, I think it's Northwestern University.
So
Oh,
this is kind of a people hobnobbing together that know each other from the past.
absolutely,
They haven't seen each other for a year, and they come.
absolutely, it's a reunion
Yeah.
of some
It's a
sort.
reunion.
Yeah, and so for example, there's a team made up from a former, I think, UCLA students
Yeah.
who are currently here living in the Bay Area, and they once a year they come together and play. One of the players is Mr. G, Dan Germanian. He's a fantastic math teacher and chess coach as well.
He is.
Uh,
Yes.
The second player on that team is a chesskid.com's CEO.
Okay.
I can't remember his name, but he's right in front of me.
Yeah,
His face is right.
I looked at his website.
Yes,
and I can't
Fan,
remember either. So.
Kevin Fan or Corey Fan. That's
Corey,
it, Corey
that
Fan.
sounds right.
Okay.
And I know that they have two other friends, and they always come,
Yes.
and they have the best team names usually. So.
Mark Pinto played one team. He went to Michigan State, and so his team name was the Aging Spartans.
The aging start.
That's fun. That's fun.
So you have fun making your team name. You have fun playing.
So
And I've always loved team competitions more than individual competitions for some reason. It must be the social component.
Yeah.
Because you're rooting for other guys on your team, other women on your team that are, their score affects your team score just as much as your individual game
Right,
does.
right,
Yes.
It's a very
Yeah.
different dynamic.
yeah, and that's a very good point. Often people ask me why we don't federate, and that's one of the reasons why we don't federate this, because some of the decisions that you might make, whether to take a draw or not, is for the team, right?
Well,
So
I
this
got a draw against Joel Benjamin one time, and he probably gave me the draw because of the team overall score.
Okay.
He was trying to maximize his chance of winning, and we put it into Fritz, and Fritz thought it was a draw anyway. So,
that's good.
but yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I also got to play Victor Frias, who in that amateur team East, and
And you beat him.
he was my biggest scalp.
Nice.
Yes, because he was much stronger than I am. He was an IM, but all
He
the
was a very good
grandmasters
player.
knew-
Yeah,
knew
yeah. I
that he
remember
was- yeah,
Victor.
yeah. He was a kick. But
Um,
that's the thing. You get to,
Yeah.
hang out and meet with people and become friends with them.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful event.
yeah, it is. It is really, really wonderful.
Do we have, and there's another event that you wanted to mention, the
Yeah.
quads? I think?
Yes.
Okay.
So this Saturday in the morning, we have a usual quick scholastic tournament, Swiss tournament for
Here
the
at
kids.
Mechanics.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's only open for the kids. So you have to be in at least.
So you old graybeards can't play.
Yeah.
So are you talking to me?
Sorry,
And
us
but
old
in the
graybeards.
afternoon, we are trying something new here. I don't know if Mechanics ever had quads tournament. Certainly not in the recent past.
No, I don't recall.
Just for kids. They do.
Yeah.
They get
Anthony
for kids.
Corrales ran
Yes.
some
Yeah,
quads for
but
kids.
for the adults.
No.
So we are trying
don't
that
think so.
out. It's going to be fast time controls, so game in 30, which is dual rated, so you both affecting your regular and your quick rating.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 rounds, starts at 3, so you should be out around 6 p.m. or so.
Nice quick
and
afternoon
quick
chess.
afternoon chess. This is especially for those who don't really have the time for a whole day tournament or a whole weekend tournament, but want to have a tournament roughly within their rating range, and that's it. So
Yeah.
anyone interested, come on out, and then we're gonna make the quads in the beginning of the tournament. When we close the registration, we group the players in 4s, and that's how they are.
The most interesting thing about quads for me when I was playing in them was that, when I would go into a Swiss system, I would be paired down and then up and then down and then up, and then finally I would play someone around my own strength. And in a quad, you're playing everybody is around your own strength. It's a very different experience and a good one.
And that's also, we encourage a lot of players to come out, because the more the player in a quad tournament, the closer the rating range is within one quad, right? Obviously. Right. So I know a lot of players are really interested and intrigued about this. And I keep telling them, please register, because others are waiting for you to register. So we might not have a lot of registrations right now, but I have verbal confirmation from quite a few players that they are very interested.
Seeing the way the Monday Night Rapid just took off, it was like we were getting like 4 or 5 players. Suddenly there's 20 plus players playing in this tournament. There's an attraction for these quick time controls.
Yeah,
yes.
For sure.
And plus, I mean, the same day promotion. We learned with Abel that in the morning, Monday morning, if we do send out that email reminder, people actually come and register and come.
That's
so
great.
It's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So
There's so many great things happening here at the club.
yes.
Very
That's
exciting.
amazing.
Yeah.
And we have to point out that it puts a tremendous strain on the staff. Judith and Abel are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because have this many events and this variety of events, it's not easy to do.
Yeah.
No,
We're
you
gonna
guys
have
do
a-
it with aplomb.
Yeah.
Aplomb.
A what?
They do it with aplomb.
Like the fruit?
Aplomb. You know,
The fruit?
aplomb?
Yes,
A-P-L-O-M-B.
Oh, I see. Aplomb.
Aplomb.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that expression? Oh, you should look it up.
Yeah.
I sure should.
Doing something with aplomb means doing it well and gracefully.
Elegant.
Nice.
And elegantly.
Nice.
So it's aplomb.
It's a good word for you.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One thing I was going to mention that I don't think we've mentioned is that John Donaldson got the Botvinnik Award here tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is an award given by FIDE to chess
Trainers.
trainers.
Yeah, well,
Trainers.
and technically, also, John mentioned that it's because of his service as a coach for all our teams in the Olympiads.
Captaining the teams.
Captaining the team, yes.
Yeah.
So that is
It's a great
big
honor
deal
for John,
And it is
and the mechanics by reflected glory. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
And
For
as we
sure.
pointed out when he was accepting the award, John has been a great player. He had 2 Grandmaster norms. He was just this close to becoming a Grandmaster. Very strong player, perhaps even a greater writer. He's written
Yes.
tremendous books on chess, and he is a wonderful chess historian.
Yeah.
You can't stump the guy.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that he's contributed in so many ways that he gets overlooked, because if you take him just on his playing career, well, there are grandmasters that are better than him. You take him as chess writers, I may have sold more books, but
Huh?
Yeah.
his chess writing, I would not hesitate to say that I would
He's a historian.
rather assign a next book to John rather than myself. And as a historian, John McCrary in South Carolina has to be mentioned. There are a couple of others. I won't mention names because I'll forget somebody and later kick myself. But John is right up there, and he is among a very elite peer group.
There's a book coming out about Bobby Fischer, if it's not come out already. I mean, he's writing the definitive books on biographies
on
of Fischer.
Rubinstein, who's a
Right,
tremendous
book
book.
on Rubinstein.
Yeah.
Not to mention
Rubinstein.
History of the Mechanics Institute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's, he's always so nice emailing us about these details. If there's something coming up, if something gets his attention, and then he sends
He cares
Abel
about
and
what's
me
going
an
on here.
email and educates us. It's really, really touching how he cares about how Abel and me learn about these things at mechanics. He has a really nice attention to that, and that's something really unique because
His heart is in the right place.
So
Your dad was getting crushed, Daniel. That's all there is to it.
before we leave that topic, so I did actually record the speeches. So
Oh,
everything,
fantastic.
both of them will be up on
We should
Facebook.
put them up. Yeah, we should put them
Okay.
up on our YouTube channel.
On YouTube too.
Oh,
Maybe I'll get
absolutely.
permission, but
No,
the
no,
Facebook
no.
I will put it up. So if anyone would like to listen to Mark Pinto was the presenter,
John, yeah.
and then John's acceptance speech as well. It was really
They
touching.
certainly should be on our
yes,
YouTube
yes,
channel
I,
as
I
well.
will definitely.
But it's
Yeah.
only audio, right? Is that correct?
No, it's video.
Video,
I took it with my
yeah,
phone.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
yeah.
So.
So
Okay.
we'll find a way to get it off your
Yes.
phone and onto the
It's very easy.
Yeah, and onto YouTube.
And we have Mark if we need help,
Yeah.
Yes.
technically.
I'll send it to Mark.
That's how it's easy.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to point out is that John mentioned Nick DeFermian, Grandmaster Nick DeFermian,
Yes.
twice in his acceptance speech
Yes.
of the Botvinnik Award, very graciously
Yeah.
IDing Nick as somebody that's been a great
Contributor.
contributor to American chess.
Absolutely.
Both as a player and as a
Coach.
captain,
A captain,
of the women's team and the men's team.
yes.
So it was
the
really
only person who
the only
has ever
person.
done that.
Yeah.
So let's point out, thank you guys for the raid. You are joining the Tuesday night marathon. This
And
is the 4th round.
Yeah, and we're going to get back to the chess. in
And
1
let's
minute.
get back to the chess.
All right,
So,
thank
okay.
you, Judith. That was wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
So here we are in the 4th round of the Tuesday night marathon.
Okay.
We're looking
Let me
at
get
the
our
games
chess head
here.
back on.
I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. This is FIDE Master James Eade with me, and Judith Starry. We're-
go and work outside.
We're looking at,
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
We're looking at, we'll go back to board 1 really quickly. This is
That was a very interesting.
FIDE Master
yes.
Karen Griffith versus Hosea Stearman, where Black has made a positional pawn sacrifice to get a bind here in the position. And this is,
I'm very
yeah,
intrigued.
Charles James on last board, real chess. We got it all here for you. We're going to get to his game pretty soon. Looks like White is experiencing some difficulties here.
Well, obviously he cannot take the B pawn.
Right.
Because the rook on to D1 check would pick up the rook on H1.
So White has to get his pieces out of the box here.
So he's trying.
And Rook A8 is a direct threat here.
That would allow bishop takes pawn, though.
Oh, I see. Rook, that's true. Rook A8, bishop takes B5. Okay. So we'll figuring this out. White has to try to get, I think Black has a certain amount of play here for the pawn.
And the 2 bishops are good compensation.
Yeah. And very interesting positional pawn sacrifice by Black earlier on in this game. Let's roll on.
Initially befuddled us,
Yeah.
but it's turned out to be
Let's-
probably the best idea. that
Let's
he-
roll on to board 2 here. Experienced master international master Elliot Winslow
Oh, he allowed
is
H3.
On the attack here against expert David Askin. Let's see how this worked out here. Black rolls ahead with his king side, King's Indian attack, G3, White side steps with rook E2. Black plays in Queen H4,
I
probably.
wasn't expecting that.
He wants to sacrifice on H3, possibly, but
right.
he doesn't. First, he's going to bring the knight out to H7 to G5, is my guess.
That looks like a.
Something like that.
Like a threat.
White scurries back with
Now
his
the
knight.
E pawn is hanging, so
And
he
Black
protects it.
defends
Gotta
with
take
rook
time out to
F8.
can't allow that to fall.
And White's thinking here.
Yeah, why not attack it again with the queen, say?
Yeah, Black has got this crude idea here of playing knight H7, knight G5, and taking on H3, or maybe taking on H3 right away, and then knight H7, knight G5. But you're right, queen c3 looks like maybe bishop to b5.
Yeah, but then that, this allows your taking on
He's not
h3.
sacking his bishop on h3 yet because g takes h3, queen h3, and then what? He still needs to bring the knight in to g5 or something like that, which is going to take another couple of moves. So he's taking time out.
If you could just nudge it over to g5 right now, it would be a very impressive attack.
Yeah, maybe Black should just put his knight on g5 and say, "Hey, look over there."
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my
did you see
favorite.
that?
That's
Yeah.
my favorite tactic.
Yeah. Not the typical chess tactic.
No, all right. Well, that's a very tense game. Let's go to
Yeah.
board 3, where
Interesting game.
Ruyan,
Seems to be consolidating her
11-year-old
edge.
master, is. We can see her there with her back to us.
Is she the red
She's
red
got
Riding
she's
Hood?
a little Red Riding Hood over there, and she is a pawn ahead versus expert Christian Clements. This is still a technical slog.
I actually don't know what she looks like because we always have her.
The red
We're
hood.
always picking up the hood.
Right. So it's white for choice here, and
I think so.
being a pawn ahead in an endgame. Let's move on and see what else is going on. This is this game. We haven't looked at this in a while. So after knight c5, we thought queen h6 here, or possibly even rook h3 and then queen h6. But white
Right.
leads with the pawn first.
Which we
Black defends.
Christopher was criticizing.
Black defends with h5, and now white decides to slow things down again with a3. We were looking at queen h6 and then rook to g3. So that's still in the cards here, I think.
Yes, because he
Black
only
plays
slows it-
a5. Both
'cause
players are
renews
ignoring.
the threat. Yeah.
It strikes me as a little bit odd that both players are ignoring the king side here, but that's finally white comes in here. I think white can just force a draw just about now with queen h5 here,
Yes.
and rook g6 check.
Yes, that's
Unless black decides to defend the second rank with rook d7, but that's very risky. It seems to me that that this is heading for a draw by
because
perpetual check.
You don't want to allow queen h6 and h5. So
All right, well, this is a very tense situation here. Let's move on to this, also
Interesting.
looking tense here. Okay, we had this position. Black
Queen
sidestepped
D7,
with queen
right.
d7, and white went ahead and
D5.
played d5 instead of the idea that we were talking about with Christopher Yu, who was here earlier, which would have been knight e2. Instead, this is played, and interestingly, black doesn't play knight to b4, which looks
Which is
like
what I
try to
expected.
scoop up, either take the bishop on d3 or scoop up the d5 pawn, but instead plays knight to d4, and that white plays queen to g3.
ooh,
That could open
Knight
up to
H5.
knight h5. Yeah,
ooh.
let's see. It looks like white might have gotten a little. Queen e3 here is probably better because although bishop c5 comes,
Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm analyzing on the fly here without
But
a
it does look a
computer to
little
help
risky
me.
to play queen e3.
So
What do you
queen
play?
g3 is played, but that just opens up knight h5. And
gotta
so
be.
white's going this way.
Black's got to be happy with this.
Yeah, you could just.
Certainly improved his position.
Yeah, black's got b4 possibilities, all kinds of moves here.
Even c5 is possible.
Black takes this way and plays bishop. This is
That's
safe,
sound.
a nice safe way
That's
of
sound.
playing. I think black has equalized this.
Yeah, you
White
got
feels
it,
like
yeah.
he's.
Otherwise, the d pawn's going to fall.
Black is playing aggressively here. And this is maybe too aggressive.
Yeah, why not just take the d pawn? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm not sure either. Well, then queen takes c7. Black
Okay.
is playing very aggressively here.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on. Unclear.
All right.
Okay, I saw, yeah. Okay. This game was just a crush. White pretty much overrunning black here. Let's see, there was no, I guess black played knight c5. Looked like he was getting back into the game a little bit, but white's just taking more pawns and saying, where's your attack? It doesn't look like there is one. Black is just, this is getting worse by the moment. Look at this.
Ouch.
Yeah, this is just, black is hoping for a miracle. White just
I
needs
don't
to be
see the
careful.
miracle. Yes.
White just needs to be careful. Let's run over now to board 7. This game looks like it being played sort of in an uncertain manner by white. We thought black was doing fine here.
Yeah.
And just kind of,
It does seem like he
I'm
should
not
have
really
thrown
sure
in.
what anybody's doing here. But the game is moving on. I'm not sure why white doesn't just play pawn takes c4 here.
We've been thinking that for a long time.
Saddling black, I mean, if that just seems to be, what, bishop d3 maybe? But I'm not, then c5. So it seems to me that b takes c4 is just straight up winning a pawn, but white doesn't play it, and black finally takes on b3 and throws his knight into e4, and this is looking a little better for white, for sure, the pawn structure, but just kind of lackadaisical play, I think.
Yeah, I think white has the advantage there. Black has long-term endgame prospects, but might not get there without sacrificing something.
All right, we had this game. This game
This
was starting to
also
look
was-
really bad. Black's bishop goes back to e6, but this was completely unnecessary. White has
Yes.
achieved way more than he should have.
I agree.
And this pawn structure,
Does not look right.
black has only one hope here, and that is to play b4 and liquidate all the queenside pawns. And even then, his position is probably next to loss. b4 is a little bit, it fixes the pawn on b5. White is left with maybe a weakness or two. The king comes over. White seems to be not sure of what to do here.
But white is clearly better.
White's clearly better, is right. Black needs to keep both rooks on the board to achieve any kind of hope for counterplay here. Yeah. Well, it's still a little tense, and white.
Well, it's
Okay.
black can't resign, certainly.
This is the end of board 9. The players are going to come in here in a minute and share their thoughts. But right now we have board. We'll take a quick look at board 10.
Well, this looks either a DGT error or
Black is winning this game.
yeah.
Let's see how this came about. It looks to me like white did not live up to the promise of maybe some of the chances that he had here. We left off here. Christopher Yu
We were
was saying
thinking
maybe
rook
d5 or rook
D5.
h4.
D5, yeah, was
White comes up
Okay.
with queen f2,
Which
bishop
doesn't
g5,
solve the
rook
problem.
f3, queen d4, and now faced with queen d1 mate, lifts the checkmate. Black exchanges and defends the pawn there. White wants to. Black is not going to give that pawn up at f7, and defends it this way. And black is
king
3
C7.
pawns ahead, folks.
Finally, king c7. Whoops. Yeah, I see where.
Ah, does that
Okay.
work? No. or yeah, it loses the exchange, if not more. Yeah,
More.
black is.
Yeah.
White blundered an entire rook here.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
this game must be over,
One would
or
think.
just about.
One would think.
Okay, we're going to take a 1 minute break, and we'll be back in 1 minute. We're back with the winner on the top board of the A-B section, Bruce Ricard. And Bruce, lead us through your game.
All right, I will.
Are you
Hello.
dominating your section now, or?
Yeah, what's your score after? What's your score?
I'm 5 out of 5 after 4 rounds.
Now that is an
That's
achievement.
really good. That
You beat
hap-
this guy
Even-
twice.
Even Carlson doesn't do that. +5 after 4 rounds.
Yes.
Like that's something, right?
You're a chess
What
player
is the
after my own
performance
heart.
rating? Tournament performance rating of that?
Okay, that could only happen in the Tuesday night marathon where round 4 was called off. So you beat your opponent. You beat
Twice.
Well, I
was it
didn't
the same-
like last week.
wasn't
No,
the same
it actually
guy?
no. He was Rudolph was had a bye last week, so I
Okay.
played someone else,
Oh,
and our game didn't finish, but the
Ah.
computer said +10. So
But
Yeah.
it wasn't counted.
yeah, I know it wasn't counted,
Okay.
but in my mind it was.
Okay.
yeah. Well, that's okay.
All right. So White plays without D4.
So we played a Scandinavian, like.
C4. We did
Didn't
not.
like
none
that.
of the commentators.
Yeah, I don't think I like. I mean, you got to be very careful because
This is
now
not a
D3
good
is
move.
very weak.
Yeah,
Like
the backward
I'm-
D pawn.
I was thinking already at this point, at some point, I'm going to take on F3 and pluck my queen on D3.
Yeah, or
and-
play knight D4.
or something. And I
So we're not sure that
It did look
exactly
a
that
little
you've
weak
played
to me.
everything correct. Like for example, here you could play Queen D6.
yeah,
maybe.
like in these lines there are lots like Queen D6, Queen D7, Queen F5, Queen H5 also.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't like.
I like my
Queen
queen on
H5
F5.
so much.
It's
And then
very
he just-
active and you can't attack it.
I mean, actually, I kind of
Right.
like the fact that like the fact that he just plays D4 and says, "To heck with it." I
Right.
mean,
I mean,
Right.
like,
you mu-
I feel like,
it's
yeah.
a bad move, but he's already got himself into a bad situation by
gotta
playing
try
C4.
something.
Yeah, C4 is not like.
It's
I think
terrible.
there are some lines in which C4 is good against the Scandinavian, but this I don't think this is one of them.
I agree.
All right, so White just gives up a pawn, and this is not going. This probably.
I mean, there are tricks. I guess he was hoping for knight C2, bishop B7, and I lose
Right.
the rook, and I might still be winning because I pick up the rook on A1, but I didn't want anything to do with that. I thought I was winning. I don't know. Like I thought it was better. Like I don't know E5. What do you think of E5? I was a little
E5
bit.
I liked.
Well, can you just play King B8 and C6 here? I mean, I'm not sure. So maybe if you're going to find a way that maybe things could have been a little easier for you, maybe try to find moves that just eject this. Oh, he's got Bishop F7. too.
No, I don't think he's. At some point, maybe it looks risky. I
It
feel.
does.
I don't know. Well, you're just clearly better, and maybe this is the correct thing to do. Although you went Bishop C5 and then you went Bishop D6, so maybe King B8 is better.
Well, but Bishop D now his queen is not on A7 anymore, so I'm
Right,
not, I'm not
that's
afraid.
true.
So I don't need to play King B8 anymore.
Okay, all right.
So that
that's
was-
all. Yeah. That's This is a tricky move.
I was
Yeah,
expecting,
I had a trick here, but
rather than that, I was expecting, rather than bishop d6, I was expecting bishop b6.
so bishop b6. I didn't like knight a4.
But who cares about knight a4?
Well, the reason my feeling against bishop b6 was that it's a
pawns,
target for white
And
pawns.
and the pawn's
instead.
charm. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
afraid. I was.
that's okay.
They're both things. I was a little bit afraid.
It's possible.
And so I was okay.
I
Bishop
wasn't afraid of
d6.
knight a4, but a4.
I thought
might have-
the bishop in d6 can be dangerous. Like it's attacking h2
So
in
what if
some
he
lines.
plays king h1?
Yeah, I know. Like I just couldn't resist the
right.
threat. But yeah, it's probably not a good move. It's
Then maybe h5 or something. I mean, the queen looks a little silly out of g4, or it could if white plays king h1.
but I gotta kind of defend my knight on.
This is certainly taking the tiger by the
Yeah, that's,
that's.
tail.
it's an
Actually, I was
aggressive
afraid
move,
if
but
you.
it gives you
After-
chances to go wrong. So-
Actually, I was afraid of f4 just after I played e5. I spent a lot of time calculating. Would you mind going back a couple of moves? Is that too
yeah,
much
sure.
for you?
No, it's
No, I mean,
So like it's gonna be yeah, right here instead of queen a4. So here I just played e5.
right.
I was wondering f4 here.
well, maybe
It
bishop
looks
c5.
yeah, but knight a4. Now I don't have any.
You have a
good-
double check.
Yeah, but I looked at it for like 10 minutes. I don't think I don't have anything with double check. Just like king h1 and I have nothing.
Yeah, if
and
you
now
play
my knight is hanging.
g3, hg3, and there's no mate.
No, there is no mate. I looked at a lot of things.
Knight
I think I played
G4.
I think I spent 25 minutes on this move. And I was looking at mates involving knight, like all sorts of things, but I couldn't find
Well,
anything.
usually you win a pawn, and then you want to try to keep things simple.
Right.
So I'm not sure that. So yeah, this was a. I mean, f4, bishop c5, knight a4. Is that really?
I don't know. It's hanging on like
I have
on a thread,
if
but
black doesn't have a forced mate, I mean, you could play. Black could just. Oh, I see. Knight e2 check. What about knight e2 check? King h1, queen h5. Threatens knight g3 mate. Oh, then he plays knight takes c5.
yeah,
Then knight g4.
h3.
Yeah.
It's. I mean,
And
maybe
then
the
knight
maybe the
f2
computer
check.
will give like
Yeah,
a
and then
12 move
knight F-
tactic, but I didn't. I
And then
couldn't
knight
see it over
f2
the board.
check wins his queen.
Knight, oh. Okay, I'm not following the whole
No,
thing,
I
but
didn't see that
I'm
either.
lost. But
You
you
can
lost
play
me.
rook takes, right?
Well, then queen d1 check. Oh, yeah, then queen d1 check.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see.
I
That's
see what
the
you're
idea.
saying.
Oh, first knight g3 check. Yeah, you've already played knight g3 check. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the win.
So I was
Okay.
afraid after, but he didn't play f4. Yeah.
All right, so let's come to this.
Yes, yeah. I don't think
Queen
queen g4 was very
G4,
good, but I think
yeah.
that's very bad. I mean, like that must be losing now for knight c2.
I think so.
I like in that,
Yeah,
I
let's,
thought so at the time, anyways.
I mean, I got
king
scared
h1
after.
king h1 is the to my mind is the obvious move.
Yeah, king.
Because it's like, okay, tit for tat, you know.
Yeah, but my queen is pretty active. I was thinking king h1, maybe queen h4,
with the idea of playing knight f3 again.
or knight f3 or e4, activating my
Yeah.
strong bishop here.
Well, you don't want
All
to
right.
walk into G3.
Well, black is a pawn
Yeah, no, yeah,
ahead.
you don't. You're right.
Black is
so,
a pawn ahead,
So-
and it has every right to feel. And so f4, knight c2.
I don't know why I don't know what that move is about. Like
that confused me.
Yeah,
too.
knight.
But to be honest, like I didn't see it coming. But I got afraid after that. Like 3 moves later, I thought I might get mated, because
Well, I thought
king
I
b8
thought you
is
could
a
just
safe move.
snap the rook
Oh, then
now.
he checks and plays queen a4 check.
I was afraid after snap the rook, I was afraid of bishop takes, rook takes, knight
Knight-
b5,
Rook d7.
Rook
We
d7.
looked at this. We couldn't
rook
find a
d7,
way
knight
from
a7.
King
B8.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Or
King
king
D8.
Yeah, or even
yeah.
king the other way. Ah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And
Yeah.
you even play king e7, and then you bring the
Yeah.
other rook.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I thought you were
The
safe.
young genius Christopher Yu was looking at it with us.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
can't take
nice.
credit for
Okay.
his ideas. but we do.
So bishop c5, queen c5, knight a1, knight b5, queen d7.
That must be the only move, no? Queen d7.
Well, you could play rook e7. You have the same position.
But that's scary because now queen a7, no?
Right.
Whereas now he can't, his knight,
yeah,
his
you're
knight
right.
is on
Yeah,
praise,
yeah,
so he
that's
cannot.
right. That's
So
So you're right. So
And now I think that's not good. I think
This
that's
just
what's
wins,
now. I
yeah.
think this is over now.
Yeah.
I thought instead of d6, I was afraid of some other things like rook c1.
just slowly.
Yeah, rook c1, and now it's not.
It's not.
I
Like
guess
the thing is, when he attacks me
A6.
with his pawn, he has no threat because if he takes with the pawn, I just leave it there. I don't care. But if he puts his rook on c1 and he takes with the knight, I got to be very careful because he doesn't have discovered attacks.
Well,
Now
he has ideas of taking on A7.
no, now
too.
there are lots of tricks. Like you got to be careful
Yeah,
after
no.
d6. So after d6, I was looking at c6.
Well, Queen
No,
A7.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, c6, queen a7 is not good, but even
Right.
a6. A6, what did I have? a6, queen a7, I think.
Yeah. Then Queen B5.
No, what did I?
Oh,
you-
Queen B5. Because
No,
you
wait,
got
there
no
was
looks.
something else.
Yes.
A6. There was some reason that we didn't like that.
Oh,
Well,
a6
knight
DC.
takes.
A6 DC, I think. And now he's
Oh, yeah,
threatening
yeah.
knight a7 mate.
Right. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but why can't I take the?
Well, he takes your
knight?
rook on. he
Oh yeah,
takes
you're
the
right,
rook.
exactly. So he's
Yeah.
on the rook and the
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
mate, so I can't do
Okay.
that. So
Now B6 is a good move, and
and I think now it's just that's just it. Like now I'm not scared anymore.
Right.
nice.
I agree.
So B6, Knight A7. He doesn't have anything here. I don't think. I think that's pretty
yeah.
much it.
I thought the scariest move was queen d5, and then I would just go c6.
Yeah, C6.
Yeah.
And
And then King
I couldn't s-
B7.
Okay, so let's see the final moves here. Check King B7, and White for
I
some
don't know, like-
reason acquiesces.
you cannot go for the end
but
game like
this
this
is
is.
completely hopeless.
I tried to trap his knight, but it didn't work out. He can
But
save
you're
it.
winning, so.
Yeah.
Tricky. A
Yeah.
little.
Yeah, for knight b5 I
trickiness.
can take it. So
Right. That's very, very well smart of you.
I'm principled.
Right.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Just keep his rook out.
No, they're just.
Here
Yeah,
comes your rook,
Yeah.
and boom,
Oh, yeah.
And he
resign.
reserved for that.
Ouch.
Okay. Well played.
done.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah. And now you're 5-0 after 4 rounds.
Top that,
Very
Magnus.
good. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on here and take a look at some of the other games, Bruce.
Thank you so
Thanks
much
for hanging out
joining
with us.
and explaining your thought process. It was very interesting.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. All
Enjoy the
right.
rest of the show.
Thank you.
Bye, people.
All right. We're going to go up to
Thanks
board
again.
1 and see what's going on here.
Oh, this
Black
What
is
happened?
1 apiece.
with 3 pawns.
Okay, let's see how this game. Kyron was in a bit of a pickle here. Way back here, he found himself playing with needing to get his rook into the game. Hosea is activating his pieces, and White needs to try to extricate them. And this is how he tries to do it. F3 is a shot. Typical,
is.
typical Hosea shot here. If bishop b5, rook b1. If bishop f3, my guess is rook a8, and then the knight is lost. And that's exactly what happens. But
And
White
that's
is
why he gets
getting
all those
all kinds of pawns. Is king f1 the only move?
Well, he's worried about rook A1.
Yeah, and I guess the king is just going to come up to g2 and be somewhat safe. Finally, he's going to get his king in it. White is going to be under a lot of pressure in this game, in this position.
And take
Bl-
the pawn. Yeah.
Can't play bishop e2 because of rook a1, and now this is lost. But this is, White's coming under pressure, but this is going to be either a long game, a long, difficult
Yeah,
game.
it is a difficult
I mean,
game.
black maybe can try to get an attack on the dark squares. That's one thing I would be thinking of if I was
Correct.
black, trying to construct some kind of attack here. I think.
And the dark squares are weak.
Yeah.
No question.
White would like to just trade any old piece that he could, I think,
Yeah,
at this
simplify.
point. Yeah, this can be very tough for White. If I was black, I'd try to dominate the dark squares.
You're only left with one pawn, though, so there's some possibilities of drawing this, but I don't see any winning chances for white, even though materially, technically, they're even. The piece is always better than the pawns in this type of position.
We're making our judgments about the positions based on our experience.
Right.
We are not using a computer to give us computer evaluations, but we can usually, unless we're missing an obvious tactic, I think that there's enough experience here between James and I that we can sort of navigate our way through a lot of the big questions that come down the pipeline.
What does bishop c5 do here?
We're not going to do as good a job as Svidler and Grishuk did for the World Championship match, but we're still providing our expertise, and they were wrong too on occasion, I'm sure.
Okay, you can't play bishop c5 because bishop.
So
Okay.
we'll go down to board 2 here, and this is another really complicated game. Two great fights on boards 1 and 2 here. Let's see what happened after knight b4. Black comes in. Black doesn't want to take on h3 yet. Figures that's not going to give him much.
Right.
Plays pressures e5, and white plays continues to pressure e5. Bishop
Forces
b5
that, yeah.
looks forced.
But now you can't take on h3 with it, so
Right. Now
that is-
right. Both players are kind of all right. So knight c4, and there's a definite idea here. White wants to take on e5.
not yet though, right?
Not yeah. Black is relying on tactics here
Right.
to sort of keep his position together. Still probably dreaming of knight h7 and knight g5, but white is looking for maybe a knockout, trying to
Wow,
figure
this
out
is
something.
complicated.
So
I'm
what
getting a
about rook
headache.
e to b2? That looks rook on e to b2 looks like a good move.
Does look like a good move. I don't have an answer.
Rekha, come and say hi. This is Rekha Starry. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Your mom was sitting here a few minutes ago, or half an hour ago.
She was talking bad about you.
She was-
too.
yeah, she was saying-
going, oh, it was embarrassing.
No, what'd you say?
Well, it was something about teenagers
Yeah,
in general,
yeah.
and then it was specific.
And
to
chess
you.
directors.
No, you're a chess
Yeah,
tournament
you're
director.
you're helping direct this
Yeah.
chess tournament.
And
tell
there's
us-
We'll
not
see
just
if I'm
a-
not the chief TD or not, but we'll see, mostly because of like the complication last week, so,
Ah.
yeah.
Well, what is your title as a director?
I'm a senior tournament director.
Senior tournament director. So the next step is national tournament
And the
director?
next step
Or-
is associate national,
Oh,
and then
associate.
national, but I'm planning on skipping associate national just because it's an extra test and it's extra requirements, and
Oh,
thank you.
sorry.
Okay, we've given Rekha the microphone.
Yes.
Thank you, Mark.
So repeat what
Uh,
you said. You're a national tournament director.
I'm a senior tournament director, yeah.
And you're aspiring to become a national
Yes.
tournament director by skipping the associate because it's just an extra test. Why bother?
It's an extra step, and the requirements aren't that different.
Right. And what are the requirements that you need? A tournament of a certain strength or a certain number? Or
So certain size tournament, and there's also prize fund requirements. So there must be a total of, I believe it's 2,000, but don't yell at me if it's not. I believe it's $2,000 as a minimum prize fund, and then I have to direct a certain amount of tournaments where the total number of players, active players, are over 100.
Are you going to be helping with the Team West tournament?
Yes.
I'm
So
looking forward to that.
I'm going to be the chief TD of the kids tournament, and I'm going to be the assistant to the chief for the adult tournament, where that fulfills my national tournament requirement.
wow.
Very cool.
Because there would be more than 100 players.
The games are still going on.
What is the prize
I'm
fund?
answering you.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm answering one of the chat people. Go ahead.
So there's a requirement where you have to be an assistant to a national tournament director in a national level tournament. So because that's
That's
the
what this is, yeah.
exactly, so that fulfills that requirement. So yeah.
Excellent. And is there another requirement or?
There's
that-
many requirements
okay,
for
okay.
different tournaments of sizes and
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I don't envy you directing all the little kids in the kids tournament.
It's not the kids, it's the parents.
Always the case.
That's true.
Searching for Bobby Fischer had this wonderful scene where the chess coach is scolding the people off camera, and you assume he's talking to the kids, and he's talking to their parents.
He's talking to the parents, right?
Well, the parents are always more invested in the kid's game than the kid actually is, and barring special circumstances, but.
Right. People are singing your praises, saying that you have awesome tournament director, and I'm just telling people your name.
My name's Reika,
And
not
can you
Rika.
Can you?
Oh, no, it is, you spelled it
I
correctly.
spelt it correctly.
But you pronounce it
But I pronounce it
other than
incorrectly.
how I would say it.
And spell your last name for us.
SZTARAY.
S-T-R-A-Y.
RAY. Right there, RAY.
Oh, throw in an extra
All right.
T. Okay, I misspelled your mom's name.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
your mom's name.
Having such a complicated last name, it makes, because people always write it differently or
Yes.
pronounce it differently, it keeps life interesting.
But
had-
you know what? People know how to spell my last name, but they used to make a lot of fun about it.
Yes, yes.
Whitehead is not a name
Yes.
that you want to go through junior high school with. You know, I mean,
Well, how would you say E-A-D-E?
E-A-D.
Eid.
Oh, Eid.
You would
Eid.
say Eid.
I
okay.
would say Eid.
Well, how did they pronounce it?
Well, I've heard Iade,
Iade.
or Eade, I think is the way I've heard it.
I think
Eastern European.
They're just trying to be fancy.
or Edie is the one
Yeah.
I get most. And most often they pluralize it. I say I'm Jim Eid, and they write down Eads.
Eads. Why? Why
I-
would they do that?
I don't know, but I
They-
have run into that.
That's a
many
very
times.
Americanism thing to do. I think to put an S on the end of something you don't understand.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
it more pronounceable, to end on a pronounceable letter.
That's an interesting thing to
Yeah.
say. Huh?
And
I wouldn't
it's-
have thought
it
of
is-
that.
You can
Not
finish it
unusual.
confidently.
It's an unusual name in America. And the first time I went to London, I looked in the phone book, and there's tons of Eid.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Where?
In London.
In London.
Yeah, and also in New Zealand. So it's an Anglo-Saxon name. So,
Okay.
but it's not a popular name here, so people
Right.
mispronounce it, and so I feel your pain.
Yeah, first day of every new year of high school is always very interesting because I have 7 new classes and 7 new teachers and 7 new ways of pronouncing my name.
Well, there are many people with unusual names here at the chess club. We have Mongolians playing here. We have Chinese people of Chinese descent playing here. We have Russians,
Gimel
Armenians.
I always let Paul pronounce the names first, and then I could follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your first name is Rika.
Reika.
Reika.
Rika.
So
It's
technically it's
spelled
Reika Starai, but don't try.
Yes.
So we usually
Starai.
pronounce it
Well, I've been to
Reika
Hungary,
Starai.
and it's the one
Hungary.
country where I could not order anything
Oh
off
my
the menu.
goodness, yeah.
Wow.
I could not figure out.
Okay.
It's just
Usually I
all
can
the
figure
accents
something
are
out.
so confusing, so.
Well, your English is.
We're
wunderbar.
going to go back to the chess games.
Okay.
I think.
Yes. That's what we're here for.
Yes, I would like Nicholas in. Yes. So I'm going to put yes to that.
Yeah, actually replying to just I noticed one of the comments said, yeah, I'm often called, especially at chess tournaments, Reka,
It's
with
an
the
Indian
H
name.
pronounced, yeah.
Well,
It's very often that that's the case that they pronounce it like that, and I've learned to accept it.
interesting. I was looking up. I was looking up Indian names, and there are so many Indian names. It's just unbelievable.
That's why we could say Vishy.
Vishy. We're going to take a 2-minute break, a 1-minute break, and then we're going to come
Start
back
at the game.
with Nicholas Wang,
Oh,
who was the winner
Alrighty.
on board 4. We are back with Nicholas Wang, who has won his game tonight against Michael Walder. Now, this is the second time you've beaten Michael Walder in 1 week, right?
Yeah.
Right? And you told us last week that how I asked you, how do you beat these guys? And you outcalculate them. And is that kind of what happened tonight?
Yeah.
You outcalculated him?
I have a question.
You know, I just want to say, Michael Walder is a friend of mine. So, you know, I like seeing these games, but you know, I don't like seeing him getting beaten so badly twice in a row. All right. Anyway,
Well,
Nicholas.
I was going to ask you, how do you pronounce your last name?
Wang?
But it's spelled W-E-N-G.
Yeah, Wang. But if it's W-A-N-G, it's Wang.
Okay, that's interesting.
knew that.
I didn't know
But
that.
we were just talking to a person with a Hungarian last name, and her name is always mispronounced. Is your name mispronounced quite a bit? Or?
No.
No, they always say Wang.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. Lead us through this game. This was actually one of the really interesting game. The opening was an old-fashioned opening.
Yeah, we knew it.
People are calling you a future grandmaster.
Ooh, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So he's also really a booked-up player. So
Is that correct?
This
You
is,
think you're booked up?
no. Michael
is.
is. Yeah.
Michael, I know is, yes.
Yeah. So what do you know about this variation?
Well, I've only seen it a few times.
Right, but you wanted to give it a whirl, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the theory is here.
I don't know.
But I know this knight c6 move is the
Typical.
move
Yeah.
here. And we
That
thought
was very interesting.
we thought that you had
Wait, before Rook D1, after Rook D1, I think you might have been able to, like, snatch the pawn, maybe, on E5, G6.
Because
show us how.
No.
Okay.
Queen C6, Rook D1.
Uh,
I think here, G6.
G6 here, and then knight
Oh,
taking
that's-
on E5.
then snap the pawn.
That's a good thing. That's a good
I
point.
think there's like knight D5, maybe the knight F6. Then he has weak dark squares.
So lead us through that. G6.
G6.
Then what?
Queen goes where?
Queen H6.
H6?
Yeah. I
And if
guess.
knight E5, knight to D5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
I can see that how that might be a possibility. Let's move on here. He plays bishop b7 instead. And then you played rook g2
Covering the G2
Yeah, now I think
square.
here you can maybe snatch the pawn.
again. I think
D6
he
again?
made a lot of bad moves coming up. Well, first of all, bishop c5.
Rook F,
rook
he had queen b6.
He has queen f3 here too.
Did you
We
look at
were
that?
we were looking at that.
Oh. Whatever. I
He,
didn't
he
see
ends
that.
up with 2 rooks in a strong position.
That was
No,
I think.
I
Christopher's
think it was-
suggestion.
2 rooks and a piece, right?
Two-
Oh, I have
two
rook
rooks.
f2.
You have rook f2,
Yeah.
but he's I think
But it's
Christopher
still-
Yu was looking at that. That's the first thing he saw. He saw it like that, boom,
Yeah.
and so that might have cooked your goose, maybe.
No, it was a complicated
It's so
position,
complicated.
but we thought that would have given black an edge.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But
It's
again,
complicated.
you've done the right thing here. Rook
didn't-
You
g8.
didn't see it, so
I saw queen b6, but I didn't see
yeah, queen b6 we looked at too.
And what about what would happen after queen b6? Is that's probably really good for him, right?
that. Yeah.
I think black needs to just play some good moves here. I'm not sure really that black's this position I think is supposed to be good for black, and you managed to sidestep some danger.
That might be what he would
And
play
this is the
against.
start of him going downhill. I think he couldn't seem to find the right thing to do here.
Yeah, no more worries
Okay,
about your e-pawn.
so now we were also wondering about queen 8. Just go right for it. Queen h6. Christopher
What are you thinking
Yu
about that?
was looking at that too. I was just like, what about queen
Queen
h6?
f6, queen h6.
And then the idea, I guess, is to
Rook h3.
yeah, and also rook h3 right away.
We were
With
looking
the
at
idea
that,
of playing
too.
queen h6. But
Now-
anyway, it's something to run through the computer.
Are you playing for a win here? You are, I would gather. Or are you?
I'm playing for a win or a draw.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's
you-
better than what I used to do, which was play for the loss.
Yes.
You know.
But I
kidding.
wanted that. I wanted to draw, but hang on to losing chances.
You're a really good player, though. H4, this H4, H5. This didn't help black at all, actually, because now this
you
surprised.
slowed him
So we
down a
thought
little,
rook g3 would be at least a draw for you, right?
Yeah.
Threatening queen h5. But you're playing for more, I think, right? Maybe with
Yeah.
a3, and then okay, rook
It doesn't
g3
really
came.
change a3, a4. Doesn't really change the picture.
So he's playing for a win with rook g7, right?
Right.
If he takes on c3, do you have more than?
I think
Okay.
I was planning to go rook e3, I think.
I see.
Then queen e8.
Oh, you mean
Then queen h6, and I would go for h5.
really? Wow! Even if he makes another queen by taking on b2?
Yeah.
Wow!
Whoa.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Okay. All right.
Or
So,
here b takes e2. I'd go queen h6, then go for h5 instead of rook a3.
I see. And let him make another queen. All right. This is great stuff. I think you're going to have to, look us up in the engine or something like that and make sure that of your calculations are right. But you've definitely shown that you're out calculating
You're out
him here.
computing me.
Rook d7.
Queen e6 looks very impressive.
Again, the same idea. You're just giving away the knight to make this slow burning attack. Look at this. You're letting him make another queen. It's fantastic.
He can queen. He's got another queen. You can't be winning, can you? Oh,
Then,
maybe.
So black is black defenseless here?
yeah.
If he plays f6, g7, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good night,
This
Irene?
is incredible.
That looks like good night, Irene, to me.
This is like a brilliancy. We're offering, and I'm not sure that we're offering it on the Tuesday night tournaments, but we're offering brilliancy prizes here. So what about queen e4? Does that do anything? Queen e4?
Queen e4, queen h7.
Oh,
Oops.
oops. Okay, let's see. Rook d8, check. This looks devastating.
It looks devastating.
He has to take, and then it's queen f6 and rook g8, mate.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a crushing game. You were
You
all
allowed the
worried
queen.
about you before the game, Nicholas. You were worried about this game that you didn't. And
'Cause you had to beat
the only
him
advice I
twice.
could just give you was just go ahead and do it. Look at this. This was totally worth it. Great game. Great game. Really. I mean,
That allowing
everybody
him
has
to
to make
take on
mistakes,
C3,
but
that had to be coldly calculated. You had
Yeah.
to really know what you were doing. So you were confident at that point. You knew you had a
Yeah.
leading attack.
No.
No? But you knew you had a
yeah,
draw in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then it's worth
you're just coming in here. What's your rating?
1850.
1850?
Yeah.
Well, you're
Well,
playing a lot stronger than that.
yeah.
You're taking on these masters and
When I was
and
1850, I couldn't have pulled that off.
you do you have a chess coach? Is it a secret?
Right now I don't have one.
You don't have one?
I had one a few months ago, but then he moved.
Okay. Well, anyway, what city do you live in?
Palo Alto.
Palo Alto.
You know, after king f7,
Look at what you're saying. Magnus Carlsen will be proud of this idea. Seriously epic. Your calculations
Chess.
must be taken straight into the Hall of Fame. Unbelievable.
Chess
Man,
on
you're
Earth
a
is
good
happy.
chess player.
Yeah.
Keep it
You've
up.
impressed Chess on Earth.
Keep it up. And we're gonna see. You want to see what's happening
You've
on board
impressed
one?
us.
You want to see what's happening on board
Yeah.
one? Let's see this game.
Oh, how did the bishops come off?
Well, it looks like it's probably helped white. Maybe can he play b4 and c4? You see what I'm trying to
If
do
he
here,
gets-
folks?
If I can eliminate that b pawn, it gets a little dicey.
I think.
What do you think?
I think if White can trade the B pawns off, I think he has a draw.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I think so.
but I think probably.
Yeah, bishop and rook. So what happens is, okay, so white's just trying to,
Oh, I see why.
okay, he needs to play b4 and then try to play c4. And then he can try to draw with bishop, I guess black can probably scoop up all the pawns, the rest of the pawns. I mean, that would be black's hope to try to win the game here.
But he can play rook a3 here.
Rook a3, that's true. And then maybe king d3 with the idea of playing f4. Oh, he's going to
okay.
blockade it.
Yeah, that's smarter.
He's going to blockade it.
Rook C4.
Rook c4, and then white can play f4 and pawn to e5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Black
think-
is in the driver's seat here.
But white seems to have sufficient.
I would imagine that white could draw this. I mean,
I think so.
but you never know. Maybe it's just some routine win for black. I mean, but do you know F pawn? He's saying future GM weighing one again. Do you know him? Michael F pawn Egner. Michael
No.
Egner. Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's see. This is board one. Let's see what's happening on board two, where Winslow. It was bound to
Wow.
happen. We had this position. White's. Okay, instead of playing rook b2,
Which
he
I thought
plays
was stronger.
rook e1.
It gets
White's. And now,
Yeah, I think White is gonna win.
yeah, this. Why did black
his-
allow this?
I don't know.
His bishop, Black's light squared bishop can't get to the c1 h3 diagonal, so he should be
Right.
fine. White should be fine.
Yeah, because otherwise, how do you break through in the king side?
Yeah, I like the way White's playing this now. This knight c5 move. This is sort of getting to be quite clear in a way. He didn't take on f6 because of e5 because of queen f6, I guess. This is looking very strong for White here.
Yeah, just now you gotta play queen.
Queen takes e5 is up.
How do you-
Black
C
never.
pawn and E
Black
pawn?
made a mistake here by probably not taking on h3 earlier.
Well, this is
When
a
he
hard
had
game
a
for
chance.
me to criticize because
It's hard game to understand.
I didn't think queen h4 was the right move, but
Yeah, and it might not have been if Black wasn't prepared to take on h3 here, or at some point, you know, even if he could bishop h3 and then knight f6 and knight h7 or something, but he was unwilling to do it and instead got bogged down over on the queen side, and that's
Yeah.
exactly where White wants to play.
exactly.
You know, and now that
And now you got
everything
two
looks
pawns.
silly over there.
2 pawns hanging
Yeah.
with no hope.
Yeah, this looks just lost. Black has to play something maybe rook e6 or, yeah. And he does. Okay, so takes, now then followed by queen f6. Maybe he's hoping to, he's hoping.
Yes.
He's hoping. All right, well, I mean, I guess queen f6 and then rook g1 maybe and rook g5 or something.
It's really hopeless, I think.
It doesn't look good for Black. What do you think?
Yeah.
All
There
right,
should be some setup for White that'll make him just win on the spot.
like rook
if he
d1
can-
or rook
yeah.
d5 maybe.
Rook d7.
Yeah.
That looks pretty strong too.
All right, White is zeroing in on a win, or trying to. This is Ruyan, who's been a pawn up now for quite a while here, versus Christian Clements. And I mean, I guess Black has some hope for drawing this. You know, it can be difficult to make progress in positions like this.
Yes.
Let's see what happens.
Well, you give
I don't know.
You
I
activate
don't,
the kings,
you know,
and
I'm
then
not
what
sure.
happens?
Yeah.
I think White just runs the king up.
Yeah.
White for choice, especially with the idea of attacking the f7 pawn too. But Black is holding on. All right, we saw that brilliancy.
Who played that White
This,
on that game?
look at this.
Oh.
Everybody back home.
Wow. I guess Black
okay.
just couldn't calculate it as well as White.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this game.
May I ask
What's
you, how old are you?
12.
12.
okay? So the major pieces have gotten exchanged, and White can breathe a little easier, I think, after that. Bishops of opposite colors means that White can hope for that
hope.
result. But you know, maybe he can even.
92?
Yeah, it's easy to see that this game might end in a draw. But Black is pressing a little bit here.
Yes, Black is.
All right,
I'm not
let's
sure.
move on. Let's move on to board 6, which was won.
Yeesh.
Yikes! This game was just hopeless for Black for so long, and let's see how it ended. Well, we'll just well, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, just
Let's go to
scroll
the end
down
of the game.
and back up a few, maybe.
Yeah, this game was never, Black was never in this game right out of the opening.
Yeah, this is not.
We left it off somewhere around. I keep going back, but there was just, yeah, I think here. We were here. There's an attack on the D pawn. White is how many pawns up? 3 pawns ahead. Black has been hoping for a miracle, but none has been forthcoming, and now boom. This is just,
Ouch.
this is as terrible as it gets. White doesn't even want to give up the H pawn.
Oh.
3 passed pawns.
Ow.
Yikes. Okay, that game is over. This was the end of Snyder-Lum. What happened here? 94, Black played King F8 and probably ran into Rook F7, check, or Knight G5. Maybe he just resigned.
Yeah. And resigned after he saw it after he moved.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is lost, obviously,
Yeah.
in one way or another. Already a pawn down and losing one on the queen side, and also you're
Advance,
losing
protect the
into
pass
f7.
pawn.
All right. Let's see, this game is ongoing. Black has put up terrific resistance.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine that he was able
He
to.
still looks like he's losing.
Wait, did he capture? Did he take G3? That one? Yeah, he did.
Well, this is
He's
a
up a pawn,
miserable position for
but-
Black.
All the pawns are weak.
Yeah, but Black is still managing to throw up a lot of resistance
Rook
in this.
A6 is a serious
Yeah,
threat, though.
I mean, Black's going to lose something back here, if not, yeah.
I think Rook F3.
Rook F3, I like that move, and then Rook A6, and then
King
No, wait.
E7's forced.
and then Knight D5 check. Yikes.
Here, okay, maybe Bishop C6. Oh, Bishop C, King C5.
Yeah. I mean, you somehow White is overrunning Black in this position.
Yeah, it
We'll
looks
see
like
what
that to
happens. It hasn't looked good for a long time. Finally,
We've seen that.
we've seen this. Black just decided.
Yeah. That was just a
Oh,
loss.
this was just a rook down.
Yep.
This was horrible.
Yep.
All right, we're back to the top board.
I see what he's.
Rook c6, king d3, rook, bishop h6. Okay, so Black is trying to prevent White from playing f4 and e5.
Yeah.
And
Smart.
if White plays rook c2, then maybe, I'm not sure. Then maybe rook c4 and
Or even king
starts to
e5,
come
yeah.
in. Yeah. So White
Oh, no,
tries to chase the bishop around.
No, he can't play. That's right. Rook c4 is forced. Right?
Well, it's an uncomfortable position for White, but now rook h5 is an idea. Yeah, rook h5 is an idea here.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Maybe something like Bishop G5, King F6.
Bishop g5.
Then like King F6.
I don't think this blockade is going to work somehow. Black is just playing for everything here. He has to try to keep the b pawn on the board.
Yeah,
he has to
'cause
try to prevent White from playing
could
f4 and
probably
e5. He has to try to
repeat the
prevent
position.
White from playing pawn to c4.
You could probably play bg7.
I think this is
rook
just
c1. Rook.
this is just too
Bishop
difficult
h3.
for Black to. It seems to me to be too many balls in the air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is a draw.
I would imagine, but I could be wrong. Let's go to
We
board
frequently
2.
are.
Yeah.
He's lost.
Okay. So Black sacrificed the exchange, went back to f6. White played queen b3 instead of my rook d1, rook d5 idea. Black went straight after this pawn, and it plays rook d5 now. Why was this the right way
I
for
don't
White
know.
to play? I'm not sure, but he does.
I just don't know.
His king.
Look
White's
at the
king.
white king all of a sudden. Jeez.
How does it get in the game?
This is a
Fascinating.
a unique position in chess here. Well, I think White would be lost, I guess, if he played rook takes e7 check.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. So rook.
Oh yeah, he's. Wait.
What?
Yeah, that works. That does work.
No, he can run his A pawn up. Black.
Or that.
Okay, but then now rook d5. White keeps the if White keeps that extra rook in the game, then I.
Yeah.
So what happened if rook d7, cd7?
King D7.
Rook takes
No.
Oh.
I mean a move back here. If Black had played rook d7 takes, Bishop takes. Rook takes c7, I guess, and then king f1 as soon as possible. I don't know. All right, king e8, rook c5.
Black has to keep the bishop on b5 or on that diagonal.
I feel like I'm misevaluating this
I am too then.
somehow.
I thought rook d5 was superior.
Now e5 is gonna fall.
So if black
Right, but-
takes on d7 and just goes for broke here with the a pawn, I have a feeling it's not gonna. It doesn't look like it should work if white starts taking all those other pawns, but who knows?
And then you can get back to the a file, so.
Well, black's gonna have the c pawn as well, so like rook d7
True.
takes, king d7, rook e5, king d6 or something. Yeah, I don't think.
C5. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think black can hold e5 either. This is getting critical here. He's going to have to try to make a run for it with both pawns,
I think white must have gone wrong here.
or black is losing.
Is black losing?
I'm not sure. What do you think, Nicholas?
Depends on how well they can calculate.
Okay. Okay, so he's doing it. Look at this, rook e5, and then what? King d6?
Yeah.
I guess.
King d6 and rook
Then-
f5 first.
King d6 and then rook d5. Also, rook d5 check now. Kind of like
Yeah, that's awkward.
that would be awkward for black, wouldn't it?
Well, then you can start running
Because if
his
he
a
plays king
pawn.
c6, he's blocking his c pawn. Yeah, but then he can run with the a pawn.
But I think you might be right. White might be winning again. I'm not sure. I should shut up.
This is a crazy position here. All right, I'm getting a headache. Let's move
Yeah.
on. Let's move on. There's some very difficult games there. Here's Ruyan's game. Oh, no, night ending with white a pawn up.
But
Looks.
you can't hold the b pawn, can you?
Knight d8.
Yeah,
So
I
knight
think the
d8,
G
but-
pawn will fall after knight d8. Something like f6 then.
And if knight
Knight
e5
e6.
f4. So I think
Then knight
this
e6,
is
knight f4.
this looks like it's winning for white or close to it now with the knight.
Knight d8. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
f6 maybe.
f6 looks perfectly
And
okay to me.
then knight
Knight
e6,
e6,
check, king
king
b5, knight
knight
f4. And then it's a question if black is going to lose something over there on the king
Right.
side. Can he somehow draw that position?
Well, I think he's got to play g5 then.
Yeah. And then knight h5, I guess gh, gh. It's going to be by the skin of his teeth if he can draw it, if
Right.
black can draw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. White has all the chances there.
Yeah.
This game,
Oh.
What happened here?
if knight g8, knight g6, let's go back and look at that really quickly. Knight g8, knight g6, good point. Good point. Knight g8, knight g6.
Yeah, it does seem simple.
Yeah. So white's bringing the king in hoping to infiltrate. It's gonna be very close if black can draw that or not. This is Childress.
Yeah, you do have the king position, which is always critical in king and pawn, king and knight endings.
This game we saw it up to this point, and black plays b4 and h5, and now I'm not sure that either player knows what they're doing. That wins the f4 pawn, but he could have taken the d5 pawn. So
And he takes d5 and then f g5.
right.
Yeah. Then he's going for the f5.
Black would love to play g takes f4 with the triple isolated f pawns.
Right, and
No,
it's like
just kidding.
It's, well,
All right,
it's,
so now white is going for the f5 pawn. There's something tells me this both players, this is going to peter out to a draw. I just, the knight's almost trapped. It has only one move.
I think queen takes d5 is probably better. Let him play.
Yeah, I'm black's h5 move didn't look. I mean, this is, I don't know.
Yeah, I think h5 was a mistake.
I mean, black could
And then
play
maybe
g4.
G5
Black should
G4.
maybe play g4
That's
here,
consistent.
but instead comes up with this and
Just played BC3.
Yeah, he's thinking.
BC knight b3. Somehow this doesn't look like either player is winning or doing. Black
yeah,
has
he's-
maybe.
yeah.
Black might flag.
Yeah, there's always that too. That black has a little less time than white does. All right, let's take a look at this game. And black is getting pushed all over the place, but he does have counterplay with the h pawn. White's maintained a nice
Well, he
dark
could play
square
knight F-
grip.
Well,
White's maintained a nice dark squared grip here, but who knows? Who knows? Black, the pawns are getting
thinking-
less and less and less.
I was thinking
Then
knight
you can draw-
f6 here.
And then bishop e6.
No,
He's
king.
moving
I
in
was
for the
thinking
kill.
C4, then push the B pawn.
That's another possibility too.
Yeah.
White has a lot of reason to think that he should win this game, I think. We'll see what happens.
Well, he's making it very interesting.
King f6 coming in for the mating attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
King f6. Okay,
Okay.
black doesn't want to get boxed in. And plays king g7. That looks probably
Yeah, but knight f6
forced.
here, then knight h5. He doesn't have the h pawn.
Yep.
But then
Knight
the
f6.
C3 pawn.
Nice.
The C3 pawn.
Right.
there.
Knight
Yeah, the more
f6.
pawns that you get, black starts to see some sort of light at the end of the tunnel here. If he can just every pawn that comes off,
That's a remarkable hold for black.
Yeah, if he does manage to hold. All right, let's move on. Board one. And final. Now this is a theoretical draw. But Kyron is
With B4.
Well, it is a theoretical draw, I guess.
well, rook versus bishop. That's the theoretical draw that I'm talking about.
But rook versus bishop is not. It could be a win.
It could be a win, but it's supposed to be a draw. It's supposed to be a draw with correct play. We can see this game is going to go on for a long time until until either Kyron runs out of time,
Yeah,
or
I think it's going to be hard for black. to
this
make
is a
long
theoretical
progress.
draw. So, rook
I'd
and
still
bishop
rather be
versus
black.
rook is a theoretical draw still.
Well, it depends on the king position.
Yeah.
And the king is not on the edge of the board, but it's close to the edge of the board.
Yeah, actually, the white pawns might even get in the way, as somebody's pointing out. It's possible that they could get in the way, but all right. I'm predicting Uzziah
Draws.
I'm predicting it should be a draw, but we'll see what happens. This game has gone. Whoa! This game.
What happened?
This game. Who knows how?
Oh, yeah. Right.
Who knows what should have happened here? But we're gonna. He did play rook
Yeah.
d5 check, as I
good
thought,
move, yeah.
maybe gumming up black the works there, and then got. He can march the h pawn now. White comes back this way. I guess he'd like to go behind the pawns, but that black might play king b7, like if rook h8, king b7. I'm not sure, but white goes in front of the pawn.
How does he get
instead.
his king out?
Well, look, he has
Oh.
this, yeah. Ah, okay. Did black have to play that?
I think he did.
So if A3, H5, A2, H6, Bishop D3, Rook
don't
A1,
I don't
and
think you have anything. If you,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Black has no way to get back there with the king in time with the king, and he can't play A2 and Bishop D3, Bishop B1 because White's going to put his rook on A1 and then Queen the H pawn. So Black has to change strategy and let the White king out, and then we get this mess.
King
Is that right?
C3.
Is King C1 the right move?
Well, he's gonna, if King B3,
Yeah,
Rook
then
B,
he's gonna
yeah.
force in that pawn.
Yeah.
This Black bishop can hold both pawns, theoretically.
I don't see how. Yeah, that's the move.
So did you think he should have played King C3? But
King
then Rook
C3.
D7. Yeah.
Wait,
So-
King. Yeah.
Yeah. So Black pushes up. But this doesn't look right for Black. Was that the right move?
White's gonna flag. Oh. Wait, there's increment.
A2, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's 5-second delay. It's delay.
This
So
had
it's-
8 seconds, so then it became 13.
Because I guess do they not show?
Well, this might be drawn now.
Wait, I think H. Oh wait, H2 bishop rook A7.
What if you just played?
Rook A7,
Then bishop F7.
Bishop F7, H5.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Oh, my
there you go.
goodness.
There you go.
Oh,
that's
Elliot.
why didn't we see that?
I did not.
Yikes.
You can't stop
Yep, he's
both
gonna
of them.
flag. He's gonna flag. You have to take. He flagged.
Not quite. He has 1 second left.
So A2, G2.
So G2 and A2, it looks to me like Black is winning now without any problem.
Whoa, Elliot.
This is brain crushing.
Wow.
Well, Elliot pulls one out of the hat here. Unbelievable. What's he thinking? Oh, he's wondering if A2 is better than G2.
I think it is.
Yeah. Now quite a swindle. It looks like almost a swindle. Here, I'm not sure. White didn't really accomplish much by marching his king over to the queen side. It's amazing.
It really didn't seem to
He
help.
didn't. It didn't help. And now G2,
And
and that's
Mate.
all she wrote.
yeah,
White can.
mate's coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, throwing the check.
I'm throwing a spite
Spiteful.
check. I love the
Spiteful.
spite check.
Oh, we live for spite checks.
Now you queen's a pawn.
Right.
No, that doesn't take a lot
Well,
of thought.
Elliot really pulled one out of the hat here. Okay.
Yeah, he won. He won this.
Yeah.
Move
Yep.
on.
All right, let's take a look at Ruyan. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks for helping. This looks.
King F5. This is winning.
This is close to a draw or close to a loss.
What is this?
I think this should be a win for White.
So if King F5, Knight H1,
Well,
but then King F4,
What about
and you trap
NF?
and you're gonna trap.
what about NF4?
Knight F4. Yeah, Knight F4.
Knight
is good.
F4? Yeah, but this looks sufficient because if Knight H1, King F4, and then you're gonna
Trap the knight.
Trap the knight. I think.
No, you don't. Well, yes, you do. And believe it
This
or not,
looks like what
all
it
the-
could have been almost a model endgame by
That really
by White
is impressive.
at some point.
but it was
This is they say knight endings are like king and pawn endings.
yes, that's why.
And
the
this
king
is
si-
a good
The
example.
king being away, so the
Let's
superior
see how
king
this
position
happened.
is just the same.
Black,
It was
the
king and pawn.
the king's coming in, knight c6.
Yeah.
I like this move, which elbows
Keeps
the black
other
king out.
Yeah.
Black is forced to make some kind of weakening move, and white moves in on the weak pawns, winning 2 for 1. Black scurries back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
this is winning.
this has
Yeah,
got to
this is
be a
winning.
win.
Yeah. No
You
question.
can imagine though that you'd be a little nervous with white. You want to
Well,
make sure that
But even knight and a pawn, or a,
yeah,
you know,
unless
a
it's
pawn is-
unless there's some strange
Yeah.
situation here. Black
That's
has
true.
done well to get this far, but
Okay.
okay. So this game should be a win for white. Let's move on to this. Okay. Despite this looks impressive, but maybe is not really going anywhere. Although h4 is, I just don't think it's gonna work. This should.
Well, it's a little nervous.
Black is gonna have to march his king all the way into white's position for anything to happen here.
What's his winning strategy here? What's Black gonna do?
Oh, I wouldn't have played that.
King G3.
Just king g3. This is gonna be real hard for black to win. But
True.
maybe it's a win. I mean, if you march the king all the way in or something.
No, I see the point of bishop d3 because now you cannot force the trade.
King
queens
g4
without
or king
blockade.
g2? I guess king g4.
I would play king g4. Why not?
All right, I predict this is black's 2 pawns down. This I don't even know why or he's 1 pawn down, but that pawn at f2 is not as scary
It's
as
not
it
going to
looks.
go anywhere. Yep.
All right, Ivanov versus
Wow.
black is getting some counterplay
yeah.
here.
This is more than you should have gotten.
Black is getting some counterplay.
Now you should just take, then go rook h8.
Check first.
King h7.
King h7 looks like a good move. And then h2. What is white do? Is white going to get some? All right, king h7. That's a risky move by white.
Well, king e7, rook g3, h2.
Rook then king f6 maybe. King h7, rook g3. Is
I don't
white
see
setting up some kind of? Oh, this
I don't
is-
think so. Or perpetual, maybe?
My brain. Okay, help me, Nicholas. My brain is getting a little tired
Help us,
here.
Nicholas.
King h7, rook g3, I guess.
Yeah.
h2,
f6.
Then
King-
rook h3.
then rook h3, and then king g6.
Oh, the king doesn't have a place to hide.
So it's just a draw.
No, so king h7, rook g3, h2, rook h3, king g7. The king, it doesn't have a place to hide from the checks.
So it's a
Sure.
draw.
Is that true? Wait a minute. I would like
Yeah,
King
yeah.
h7.
From
rook
that,
g3, h2, king f6 is what I would play.
king f6. Oh, wait. Then I think just maybe rook g1. Oh,
No, then check and take.
yeah.
So king h7, if rook g3, h2, king f6, and then so black plays
Oh.
king h5. I guess that makes sense. 98 idea too.
Oh, but I don't think black is losing here. I mean, I don't think white is losing here. That strikes me as strange.
Okay, so now if h2 is, could white just play b5 or something?
Or rook g2 then. But then king h5. King h4, king h3, then he'll just go.
It's funny how the kings are trying to avoid, the black king is trying to avoid the white king. It's almost comical here. Now, what about b?
What?
Okay, White's
He's trying to
playing
check.
knight f3 check. I'm not sure about this.
Me either.
They're playing fast. The players have very little time left. Bishop c4.
That's curious.
That is a very odd move.
No, he has to play bishop d3 now.
Bishop d3.
But then knight check on f3.
Then king.
And then knight e5.
Yeah,
95
this
was
is like
crushing.
ring around the rosy here with the black king and the white
I like white again.
pieces. The white should have at least a draw here. This looks like there's been some mistakes here.
I
And
think White has a
particularly-
win.
I
Can
think
he
so, too.
checkmate Black?
Well, I
Well,
think
knight f5 and rook g5 is a threat of mate. So black has to play bishop d3
No, bishop
here.
d3 at knight. Oh yeah. Yeah, king. Yeah, bishop d3.
Is forced. Knight f3, king h5,
Wait,
Well,
knight
and then
e5.
knight
Knight
e5.
knight
e5.
e5, yeah.
but then king back to h4.
Knight takes bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, knight takes bishop. Very good. And that should be a win
That should
for
be a win.
sure. Okay, so we
You could
found a
just give up
forced
the
win
rook.
here.
Yeah.
We found a forced win.
Knight f3.
Knight f3 check and knight to e5, threatening rook g5 mate.
I think White's gonna take on f5.
Or threatening rook.
White has very
H8
little time.
mate.
So he needs to find the knight f3 and knight e5 combination. It's not that difficult. Threatens rook g5 mate as well as knight takes d3. So,
Now knight e5.
and now knight e5.
Knight e5 threatening rook h8.
Right, it's mate.
Maybe rook g5 and then knight e5 and
Well, no, I think just knight
Yeah,
e5.
knight e5.
Because you're
Yeah.
threatening rook h8 mate.
yeah, forces king h4 and then knight
Knight
takes
takes
d3.
Yeah. It's good night,
And he
Irene.
played it.
Yeah.
Well, White deserved to win this game.
Yep.
Let's take a
Although
look
black
at board
has
one.
to be
Let's
very
let's take a look at board
get
one
some
here.
praise. Hey, Elliot, what a win! What a swindle is what we
I think-
said.
Actually, we're not having any more guests.
I think I should
So,
go
but
now.
Elliot's here behind us.
I think I should go now.
Okay.
I-
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job.
on crushing the old
What
man.
what a lovely attack that was. That really was impressive. Keep it up, man.
Elliot, either sit down or move. Or do you want to sit down? Not really.
Do you want?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mike's already used, no.
Okay. Well, then, if you say not really, please sit down and hold this. All right. This is international master Elliot Winslow, who won his game.
Should we look at
Swindled.
his game?
Total
He
swindle.
swindled his game.
took
Let's look
advan-
at this game for a minute.
Okay.
This is the top board here.
Yeah, I wonder if he screwed up
Oh,
earlier.
they've agreed to a draw here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought that he was winning, and black
Black.
was winning.
But White was, I can't believe that White wasn't earlier. I
The
mean,
White wasn't winning earlier.
yeah,
Yes.
it just looked like a,
What? Not in this position.
it looked like Josiah had like hopped the track there.
Well, he made a very interesting positional pawn sacrifice.
Well,
where he got some,
He
yeah.
he had to play, White could have stopped F5 too. With Queen G5, he has to stop it. Black could have tried F5, could have gotten very interesting.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't like queen g5.
Yeah.
All right, so the board one has ended in a draw. Let's see,
Thought there were more
in
moves.
this position,
Yeah.
which seems reasonable to me.
Yeah, he's got F6 covered. Actually, F6 is a, well, he can play King F8.
Okay,
Or
so,
rook check.
and Elliot's won on this board, a queen ahead, and that's about it. I think we're going to, we have one more game going on, and the game ended in mate.
Whoops.
Very,
Okay.
very, very convincing.
So we want to thank everybody for watching the broadcast tonight.
Yeah, that was
And,
an interesting night. Of
It's been a
chess.
great night of chess at the Mechanics Institute. We've had
Yep.
the John Donaldson achieving the Bonfinick
Bonfinick
Award.
Award.
Christopher Yu sat with us for a long
The
time.
Falconer Award winner.
Yeah, the Faulkner Award. Elliot
And-
won it by a swindle, old age and treachery.
Definitely.
We applaud
I was actually
that.
looking forward to another fire. I'm not supposed to say that.
No,
All right, good
no,
night from the
that's not-
Mechanics Institute,
not
everybody.
on the airplane.
We'll be
And
back
they
next
would
week
rename Tuesday
for round 5.
round 4 day.
Bye.
It's ground.